Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball. And here we go, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you guys back on the stream. March Madness 2023 with the first round of 64 about to begin as I'm covering play-by-play. A great matchup to kick it off, hopefully. Number 9 seed West Virginia Mountaineers taking on the number 8 seed the Maryland Terrapins in this matchup, as the winner will take on Alabama versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi in a 1 versus 16 matchup in the second round. Wow, we are here. March Madness, Thursday afternoon, opening tip gonna start in around 7 minutes approximately. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Derek, glad to have you back in the stream there. Donovan K, welcome on board once again for this matchup. West Virginia coming in, slate favorites on the line, 2.5-point favorites in this matchup. West Virginia, 19-14 record, played in a extremely challenging Big 12 conference this season. And Maryland, 21-12 record. And I think we're going to start off with a physical battle between these two teams. Bob Huggins, back to the bracket once again for the Mountaineers, 16th season as head coach, 11th NCAA tournament appearance. And in the first round, Huggins, 7-3 record at West Virginia. Maryland, in their first season, under head coach Kevin Willard, came over from Seton Hall. And this is their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2021 for Maryland, when they knocked off UConn as the 10 seed, the 10-7 matchup. When James Bouknight played at UConn, they shut him down in that first round matchup back from 2 years ago. There's going to be a solid game. I feel like Maryland's known for their defense this season, ranking inside the top 25. They only allow around 63 points per game to opponents. The weakness note for the Terrapins this season has been the scoring, though. They only average just above 70 points per game, which ranks around the 200s nationally for Maryland. And then West Virginia, they're the complete opposite for them. Great scoring team this season, really good on the glass. They are top 15 in the nation in free throw makes for West Virginia. This is a big physical type of team for the Mountaineers. Their weakness comes in the defensive side of the floor, where they're ranked in 9th out of the Big 12 in total defense this season, but they ranked 4th in total offense in the conference. And both of these teams got a key player to look out for. Eric Stevenson, a transfer from Wichita State. He's the top player for West Virginia. Stevenson averaging 15.5 points per game this season. And for Maryland, top scorer Jameer Young, the point guard, averaging above 16 points per game. Should be a great battle. We're going to tip off in about 4 minutes. Let us know out in the chat who you guys got for this one here, Maryland or West Virginia, in the 8-9 matchup. Neil, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining in again. Maryland going with a 3-guard, 2-forward starting lineup that they have. Their whole starting five, they got their whole starting fives either from the D.C. area, like DMV, D.C., Maryland area, or Philadelphia for their entire starting five. They got just, both of these teams have struggled on the road this season. Maryland, just 2 road victories. They came at the two worst Power 5 schools this season. They came at Louisville and then came at Minnesota for both of those road wins for Maryland. So away from College Park, they were brutal this season. And at West Virginia, they only had 3 victories on the road. They smoked Pittsburgh, though. They won 81-56 at Pitt. The other 2 road victories came at Texas Tech by 15, and the other one was at Iowa State by 3, 72-69. And that was a game, I think, recently, back in February. It was at Iowa State. So, yeah, West Virginia, super misleading record for them. Playing in the Big 12 this season, they started out really, really tough. Started out 0-5 in the Big 12, but then they started to get going. They've won their last 4 out of 6 games. Only 2 losses that they have, those were against Kansas. So 4-2 in their last 6 games. Only 2 losses against Kansas. One of those was at Fog Allen. They lost by 2. So they're starting to get going as of late for West Virginia, whereas Maryland, they trailed a little bit down the stretch. Maryland 1-3 in their last 4. Only win came against Minnesota. I got West Virginia in this game today. I actually saw Maryland in person. They looked phenomenal back in Mohegan Sun, but it seemed like that was the time that they peaked. Maryland started off. One of their best wins of the season came against Miami, the game that they saw at Mohegan Sun back in November 20th. And that game, Miami had Nigel Pack injured in the middle of that game, so they were without one of their key players for quite a bit of time in that matchup. But Maryland's got out to a red-hot start this season. They started out 8-0. They destroyed St. Louis in the first game back in November at Mohegan Sun, and then the game I saw, they crushed Miami. But now we're into March. Things certainly looking different right now. And we can flash back last year where TCU crushed Seton Hall in that first round game. I just hope that this game is close, like reminiscent of Florida against Virginia Tech from 2 years ago, because last year Seton Hall was a no-show in the bracket against TCU, and now the former head coach for Seton Hall is now the head coach currently for Maryland, Kevin Willard. So Willard's track record, he has struggled in the bracket, 1-5 record in the NCAA tournament while he was head coach at Seton Hall. And Bob Huggins, historically, he has been great in the first round for Huggins. 7-3 record in 10 first-round appearances at West Virginia, 34-25 in the NCAA tournament for Bob Huggins. Flame Legend, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining in. Yeah, this is an old-school type matchup here. Throwback to before the conference realignment stuff. Just such a tough conference for the Big 12 to play in this season, and Bob Huggins stated it like a month ago or so. Big 12, like every single game is just absolutely brutal, and West Virginia puts more miles than any other team in the nation for West Virginia, because they're playing schools out in Texas, Kansas, when they're coming all the way from West Virginia, another time zone to play those Big 12 games, basically flying like halfway across the country, whereas geographically, all the other teams super close to each other. Maryland has put quite a bit of miles, too, because they have a couple teams close to them in the conference. Rutgers being one of those teams, Penn State. But you got other teams like Nebraska, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Michigan State. It's a good amount of miles for Maryland, too. All right, so we're going to open it up here just in a moment. If you guys are doing the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Let's go, everybody. Hit us up in the chat who you guys are rooting for, Maryland or West Virginia. West Virginia, dark blue uniforms, yellow numbers, yellow letters for this matchup. Maryland goes in the white jerseys, red numbers, red letters for this matchup here. First round of the NCAA tournament as we tip off and we are underway. Happy 2023. To March Madness, here we go. West Virginia with the opening possession. Eric Stevenson, the top scorer this season, averaging 16 points per game. Dribble handoff. Bounce pass to Emmett Matthews inside the key. Float to the shot. Gets the bounce. It's good for 2 for the Mountaineers. Great start for West Virginia. They're known for their offense this season, ranked 4th in the very, very tough, challenging Big 12 conference. Maryland top 25 defense entering this game. Maryland just 1-3 in their last 4. Only victory in their last 4 came at home in College Park against Minnesota. Runner right down the lane. It's good. Hakeem Hart for 2. Great response for both of these teams in the first bucket as we are 45 seconds into action. West Virginia second possession past midcourt. West Virginia 4-2 in their last 6. Only 2 losses came against Kansas in the Big 12 tournament, and also at Fog Allen, lost by Kansas late in the regular season. Turnaround jumper missed towards the right side of the rim. Offensive rebound. Back it goes to West Virginia, though. And that's one of the keys for the Mountaineers. They get a high offensive rebounding type of rate. Here's a leaning 3. Air ball. They are able to save it, though. Back to the wing. It goes out of bounds. Turnover by the Mountaineers. West Virginia ranking first in the Big 12 this season in offensive rebounds. Top 90 in free throw shooting percentage. 13th in free throw makes in the nation. So this is a team that would like to get to the rim, see if they can put you into foul trouble. Maryland has it now at the wing. Donald Carey moves it on top over to Dante Scott. Hands it off to Jameer Young. Young, the top scorer this season, averaging above 16 points per game. Moves it out to his left to Carey. Bounce pass goes over to Scott. Scott backs his way on Trey Mitchell, former transfer from UMass in Texas. Inside a key, Dante Scott. Scott guarded, gets around him. Double team, puts it up and through, up and in off the glass for 2. Dante Scott. Big bucket for Maryland, up 4-2 as we are 2 minutes into action. West Virginia now, third possession. Now to the right wing, Eric Stevenson. Stevenson guarded at the top of the key by Donald Carey. Stevenson double teamed inside. Stevenson kiss off the glass. He scores. Up and in. Good. And that goes through off the window. What a start here in this game so far. Both of these teams getting into the paint. We'll see if there's an attempted 3 coming up. Yesterday, Arizona State ripping the 3s early in the game. Here goes West Virginia. Press Virginia, able to get some pressure on Maryland, forcing the turnover. Kick out to the corner. Kedrian Johnson drives baseline, turns it right back over. Johnson comes up with the steal back for West Virginia. Jacks up a 3. Bang, bang, he drills it. Kedrian Johnson with a hustle play. West Virginia 7-4 takes the lead. He turned it over at the baseline, and then he stole it right back. Never gave up on the play. Johnson pressuring from behind. Maryland will draw the shooting foul, and 2 free throws coming up at the line by Jameer Young. If you're new on the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Thanks so much, all, for joining in, being a part here on the channel. I cover basketball action, play-by-play, college hoops, NBA. They're going to say it's a foul on the floor, so instead of free throws, it will be 2 shots to the free throw line. West Virginia off the inbound comes up with a steal. Mountaineers took it to the rim. They missed the layup. They get it back, though, with offensive rebound. West Virginia early on controlling the glass. Stevenson attacks baseline. Stevenson gets fouled. The game clock will stop with 17:04. So that's 2 forced turnovers so far by the scrappy West Virginia defense. This team is loaded with seniors. Tons of experience in this West Virginia squad. They'll get the inbound underneath their hoop. 5 seniors inside the starting 5 for West Virginia. 4 seniors, 1 sophomore inside the starting 5 from Maryland, as we have a hold foul picked up by Maryland, and Maryland will pick up their second personal as a team. And that was directly off the inbound. That's charged to Donald Carey, number 0, as he was holding up a West Virginia player off the inbound. Ball sailed into the backcourt, and the referees blew the whistle. That's not a good sign for Carey right now. That's the second personal foul picked up by Carey. And Maryland, they're a team that doesn't have much depth on the roster. Donald Carey, the lone starter, not averaging double figures this season. He's averaging 7.3 points per game. They got 4 starters averaging double figures. Jameer Young, Joyan Reese, Dante Scott, Hakeem Hart. West Virginia, they also have 4 players averaging double figures. And then they got 1 player off the bench, Joe Toussaint, the transfer from Iowa. He's averaging 9.5. Inbound for the Mountaineers. 17 minutes left to go in the first. Kedrian Johnson moves it out to his left to Matthews. Matthews now at the edge of the logo. Passes off to Stevenson. Bounce pass. Down at the low block. Pressure defense coming by Maryland. They swing it down low. Up fake inside the key. Puts it up. Scores. Power move up and in off the backboard. Trey Mitchell for 2 for West Virginia. Buckets inside the paint early. West Virginia just eating the bigger team in this matchup. Trey Mitchell, 6'9", the transfer from UMass in Texas. It's a lot of Big 12 basketball experience now for him. Bounce pass off the roll down. Maryland's knocked out of bounds. Last touch, though, by Jimmy Bell. They get a couple big boys in this West Virginia squad that's absolutely beast on the glass. Jimmy Bell, transfer from St. Louis. He just eats inside the low post and on the glass. Trey Mitchell from UMass in Texas. Emmett Matthews played at West Virginia to start off his career, 2018 to 21, transferred last year over to Washington, and now he's back for his final season to play at West Virginia. Kedrian Johnson started all the way back in 2017 playing for St. Peter's in the starting five for West Virginia, and then Eric Stevenson started off his career in 2018 for Wichita State. Stevenson with a three. Stevenson missed off the back rim, and a foul on the rebound picked up. It's going to be charged to West Virginia. So they'll charge Jimmy Bell Jr. on the over-the-back calls. It will go back to Maryland with 16 minutes. Hit us up in the chat who you guys got today in this matchup. Maryland or West Virginia, both with 2 personal fouls so far. Maryland with the ball inside the key. Hakeem Hart puts it up. He got blocked. West Virginia comes out with a block with Emmett Matthews. Here to go up the floor. Stevenson. Stevenson at the top. Pro hop. Swings it out to the wing. Pass at the low block for West Virginia. Turnaround jumper. Matthews high arcing. Missed off the back rim, and Maryland collects the defensive rebound. Jameer Young at the right wing, guarded by Jimmy Bell, the big man on the outside. He gets double-teamed. Here goes Press Virginia, trying to force the steal, but Maryland able to get it away. West Virginia bringing a lot of pressure defense early on in this game. Young attacks, his pass deflected, intercepted by West Virginia with a steal. Here goes the Mountaineers pushing it up the floor. Eurostep right to the cup, he scores. Eric Stevenson up and in off the backboard for 2 more for the Mountaineers. West Virginia forcing turnovers, taking it the distance, and what a start so far for Bob Huggins' squad. The track record shown already in this game. Bob Huggins, 7-3 in first-round games. Kevin Willard just 1-5 at Seton Hall. At the elbow, Join Reese, jab step, backs his way on Jimmy Bell. Reese lost control of the basketball, turns it over again for Maryland. West Virginia has it. Dribble drive attack right down the lane inside. Huge rejection on a bounce by the Terps as bodies come flying all over on the hardwood. And we stop the clock with around 15 minutes left in the first. What a start to this game. High octane. Big time. As we take the first timeout in the match, a media timeout, 11-4 to score with 15 minutes left to go in the first. +70 watching right now. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action here on the channel, play-by-play, both college hoops, also NBA streams, but going to be a lot more college basketball streams because of March Madness right now. Metronome, thanks so much for stopping by. Brandy, welcome to the stream. What a start here for West Virginia. Right out of the gate, they are just bringing it physical to the Terps in this game. This is what Big 12 college basketball is all about this season. Tough, big, and physical. 4 points by Eric Stevenson. 3 points by Kedrian Johnson. 2 each by Trey Mitchell and Evan Matthews. West Virginia forcing 4 steals so far in this game. Maryland has turned it over 5 times. West Virginia with just 1 total turnover. West Virginia bringing in the pressure, and Maryland's just shaking right now, trying to figure all of this out for the Terps in this game. Oh, that would be wild. West Virginia, PC, Pitt, and UConn for Final Four. That would be absolutely wild. So this is my first stream out of 3 tonight. Feel free to come on back for Arkansas against Illinois later today at 4:30 p.m. for the other 9 versus 8 matchup. Later today, I'll also be back covering Oral Roberts taking on Duke in a 12 versus 5 matchup. That will tip off around 7:10 p.m. So 2 other streams planned for today. Great day lies ahead for college hoops. What a strong start so far for West Virginia in this game. Mark, thanks so much for joining in. Good start in the first 5 minutes and 15 seconds for West Virginia. And thanks so much all for joining in on the bracket challenge group. That was awesome. We got over 70+ brackets that filled out for the Behind the Arc Basketball Bracket Challenge group this year. That's incredible, guys. You guys are awesome for all being a part of the bracket challenge, making it possible, filling out your brackets. This game is on CBS. Tomorrow's Michigan State USC at 12:15. NC State against Creighton at 4, and then Providence, Kentucky at 7:10. Waleed, welcome in. So it's on CBS, so that's just broadcast TV. So it's not even cable. So if you have an over-the-air antenna, you should be able to get that one for CBS if you're like within reach to like a CBS affiliate station. At the free throw line, West Virginia shooting 2. Kedrian Johnson hits the first one. Levi, thanks so much for joining in. Nicole, welcome to the stream. Second one is good. 13-4, 14:46 left to go. What a start for West Virginia so far. Maryland, 5 total turnovers, 0 assists. This team is just rattled. They only have 2 road victories this season. Their track record shows by the start of this game. Wins on the road at Louisville and Minnesota. Let that speak to itself. West Virginia, they do have 3 road victories, but they speak to itself right here. A win at Pittsburgh, 81-56. Other road wins at Texas Tech and at Iowa State. They won against 2 teams in the bracket, whereas Maryland won their 2 road games against the 2 worst Power 5 schools, basically this season. Inbound for Maryland. Top of the key, Jameer Young. Young moves it out to the left wing to Ian Martinez, number 23. Martinez, first time into the game, pressured on the outside by James Okonkwo. Now to the low block, they move it out to the top for Maryland. Hakeem Hart dribbles inside Hakeem, floats it up, skipped around the rim, no good, and West Virginia comes out with a defensive rebound. VG Samurai, welcome back in the stream. Yes, I'm a Providence fan if you guys didn't know. Joe Toussaint, off the bench, transfer from Iowa, averages 9.5 points per game, has the basketball, moves it over to Stevenson. An absolute bucket getter this season as he has it at the right corner. Stevenson, baseline J, missed off the mark, bounced off the rim twice, and a loose ball rebound. Knocked out of bounds by Maryland, so it will stay West Virginia ball. 13:54 left to go. Just a lot more size. The bigger, stronger team right out of the gate in this game goes to West Virginia. Dominant on the offensive glass and also forcing turnovers right from the start. Inbound to Stevenson. Stevenson at the left wing for West Virginia. Stevenson backs his way on Ian Martinez. Swings it out on top to Joe Toussaint. Toussaint slows it down, 10 on the shot clock for West Virginia. Toussaint crossover, dribbles up inside a key. Toussaint floats it up, no good, tipped up, and a rebound controlled by Dante Scott on Maryland. 13:30 left to go. Maryland has the ball, being pressured once again by Toussaint. Scott dribbles into the key, pro hop. Scott traveled with it. Turnover by Maryland. 6th turnover to game by the Terps right now. Jason, welcome to the stream, man. Oh, big night tomorrow night. Been waiting my lifetime for this matchup. PC finally takes on Kentucky. 13:27 left to go. West Virginia forcing 6 Maryland turnovers. West Virginia gets the inbound. Hit us up in the chat who you guys got in this game, West Virginia or Maryland. West Virginia with the ball. Joe Toussaint, top of the key. Toussaint towards his right, moves it out to the right wing to Emmett Matthews. Matthews moves it out to his left around the perimeter to Joe Toussaint. Toussaint drives, and we have a foul picked up. It's going to be charged to West Virginia. Or they're going to just say turnover. So it's going to be a turnover by Joe Toussaint, so he did not push off. Got called in the travel violation by Toussaint, so it's going to go back to Maryland. Second turnover to game by West Virginia. Maryland with 6. Got more turnovers than points on the scoreboard in the first 7 minutes of action. 13 minutes left to go in the first. Maryland with the ball, Donald Carey. This is a Maryland team that got destroyed at Michigan. Lost by like almost 40 points at one point this season on the road at Michigan. Straightaway 3, Maryland missed off the back rim, and the rebound pulled down by West Virginia. Mountaineers with a chance to go up by double digits. Emmett Matthews at the right wing perimeter. He's guarded by Hakeem Hart, moves it out to the logo to Toussaint. Toussaint will slow it down for the Mountaineers. 12:30 left to go in the first. Toussaint Bounce pass Stevenson. Stevenson, jumper, 18-footer rattled out, tipped up, offensive rebound, back to the perimeter. Joe Toussaint, jumper, baseline. Off the mark, missed by West Virginia. It was off the mark by Trey Mitchell. Rebound back, it goes to Maryland. 12-10 left to go in the first. Maryland with the ball at the right wing. Trying to figure out this pressure defense by West Virginia. West Virginia brings a double team inside. Back out to the right elbow. Maryland just stuck. Bounce pass left corner for Maryland as they move it all around the perimeter. Deep range 3-7 on the shot clock. Missed off the mark, no good. Tipped up to the perimeter. Offensive rebound. Hakeem Hart gets knocked down and he gets fouled. And the clock will stop with 11:49. So a lot of panic in this offense right now for the Terps as they are just stumped by Bob Huggins and his defense, just stumping Maryland in this game. Just 4 points in the first 8 minutes of action by the Terps so far. 12:05 left to go in the first. West Virginia leading Maryland 13-4. Wow, this game is just really slowed down. Nobody can score as of late. West Virginia getting early buckets off Maryland turnovers, but exactly, I didn't think it would be this grind, like this bad of a scoring game. For certain. But wow. If you're new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here. I cover basketball action, play-by-play. College hoops, also NBA, but a lot more March Madness college hoop streams in for the next couple weeks for the tournament, since it's all college basketball right now. Yeah, and feel free to interact in the chat if you guys would like. Let us know out in the chat who you guys are rooting for in this game, West Virginia or Maryland. West Virginia, the 2-point favorite in this matchup. Over-under was at 136. We'll keep you guys posted on the Furman, Virginia score as well throughout the stream until we end this game today. Furman will tip off against Virginia. That game will tip off at 12:40 p.m. Next stream after this will be Illinois against Arkansas. That will tip off at around 4:30 today. Couple key updates to for the tournament here. Okay, so we got a couple key updates here. So, looks like for Xavier, Cam Kraft will be available today against Kennesaw State. For Xavier, Kai Tandy, though, is still out. So Kraft will be available. He only averages around 3 points per game. Hasn't played since February 10th for Xavier, but he will play today in the 3 versus 14 against Kennesaw State. Kevin McCullough, he is back for Kansas today for the tournament game against Howard. That's huge to get a key defender back, also averaging above 10 points per game for McCullough. Bill Self, though, head coach for Kansas, he will miss today's game against Howard as he continues to progress. He was out for the whole Big 12 tournament for health issues for Bill Self. So Bill Self not yet back for the NCAA tournament, head coach for Kansas. And then for Mizzou, Trey Gomillion with a groin injury. He has a game-time decision today for Missouri. That game tips off at 1:40 p.m. against Utah State in the 7 versus 10 matchup, as Gamillion averaging just under 5 points per game this season. We get back to action, 11:45 left to go in the first. Maryland with possession. They'll settle for a 3 at the left wing. Missed off the back rim too long. Offensive rebound as they put it up, and they will draw the shooting foul. So 2 free throws coming up at the line now for Maryland. It will be number 10, Julian Reese. We got 70+ watching right now. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action on the channel play-by-play throughout the March Madness tournament, college hoops specifically, and also NBA games as well, especially when we get to the playoffs. First free throw missed to the line. No good by Reese. Seems like a lot of jitters by this Maryland team right now. Second free throw. No good, missed off the back rim. They go empty. Those were two really awkward free throw shooting motions by Julian Reese, who is at the line. 11:30 left to go. West Virginia on an 11-zip run that's only lasted 6.5 minutes. Maryland's defense at least keeping them somewhat in the game because their offense has got 4 points in the first 8 minutes and 45 seconds of action. Loose ball. Tipped out of bounds to the corner, and it was rolled out of bounds. Last touch, as we're going to see here on the screen, and last touch by Maryland. 11:15 left to go. Inbound West Virginia. Stevenson gets the handoff around the perimeter. Stevenson, bounce pass, out to the corner. 3 on its way. Swoosh. That's good for West Virginia. They lead 16-4. Joe Toussaint, sharp shooting perimeter guard from the transfer from Iowa, knocks down the 3 at the left corner. Maryland yet to make a 3 so far. 0 for 3 from the perimeter. They are stuck right now in this game. 4 points in almost the first 10 minutes of action, and Maryland will burn a timeout right now and talk things over. Timeout taken on the floor. Total dominance by West Virginia with Bob Huggins' squad. And the track records with his history and his numbers, they just show for it. First round game, 7-3 record for Bob Huggins. Kevin Willard, they got him from Seton Hall in the offseason from Maryland, but he's only won one first-round tournament game in 6 tries at Seton Hall. Seton Hall even lost to Wofford a couple years back as well. They got destroyed by TCU last year, and here he is, head coach for Maryland, and this Maryland team just simply does not look ready. They look challenged offensively. It's just nothing there with their offense. This is a team that scored above 80 points against Miami back in November the 20th at Mohegan Sun. They had peaked too soon. They started off 8-0. They were in a roll. They made it all the way inside the top 25. And then they started off conference play. They got the doors blown off them at Michigan. They got destroyed at Michigan, which had lost against Central Michigan a couple weeks prior to that game. They got blown out at Michigan, and they closed out the season on a rough stretch for them with one of their losses on the road by double digits at Ohio State. And their only win in the last 4 games has been against Minnesota in a home game. Like, they've got everything going for them this year at College Park. But when this team hits the road or neutral court, they just look just disheveled and just discombobulated. They have it looks like there's no clue going on. Yeah, this is a rough start for Maryland. Oklahoma Fishing Adventures, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I had said at the beginning of the stream, I really hope that this game could be like something like Florida against Virginia Tech from 2 years ago. But, man, this is not looking so hot right now for Maryland. They cannot get anything. Maryland shooting 2 for 7. West Virginia's attempted 15 shots. Maryland's attempted 7 shots. 6 turnovers by Maryland. West Virginia's got a couple of those buckets off Maryland turnovers. Jameer Young, he's turned it over 3 times so far. That's been the other problem for Maryland this season. They just don't have like any sort of proven point guard on the team or so for their roster. It's just a tough task to do when you transfer from a mid-major over to a Power 5 school and start to like lead the team this year. Jameer Young came from Charlotte. West Virginia just getting so much pressure on Maryland, and they have no clue like what to do in this game. Mario, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining in. 26th NCAA tournament appearance for Bob Huggins, reaching the Sweet 16 in the last 8 out of 13 tournaments. The track record says it all. 34 victories in the NCAA tournament appearance all time for Bob Huggins at West Virginia. We get back to action 6 forced steals, or 6 forced turnovers, 4 steals by West Virginia's defense. Maryland with the ball inside the key. They put up a tough shot, no good, hit the front rim, but they did get fouled. So this will send Jameer Young to the free throw line shooting 2. By the way, Virginia just tipped off against Furman, so we'll keep you guys posted with that score as we go through this game. Jameer Young at the free throw line. And the first one's good. So finally, Maryland gets a point as they have shut down a massive scoring drought that they were on. That spanned for, it felt long, probably around 5 minutes or so they were on that scoring drought. Second free throw is good. 16-6, West Virginia in their backcourt gets the inbound. Joe Toussaint pressured in the backcourt, able to make the pass midcourt to Trey Mitchell. Back into the hands to Toussaint. Toussaint at the top, moves it out to his right to Trey Mitchell. Mitchell at the right wing perimeter for West Virginia, slides it over to Stevenson. Stevenson, 10 on the shot clock. Stevenson, handoff to Toussaint. Toussaint at the top. Toussaint, 1-on-1. 5 in the shot clock. Toussaint takes the 3, high arcing. Oh, he hits it. Joe Toussaint, bang, bang. High arcing 3 right there. Big time shot, Joe Toussaint. 19-6, West Virginia. 10 minutes left to go before halftime. Third made 3 of the game for the Mountaineers. Joe Toussaint from the bench making his second 3 of the game. X factor so far in this matchup. 17-2 run by the Mountaineers as Maryland pounds it down low. They get the bucket with Julian Reese. They need 3s to match it. Maryland yet to make one so far in the game. 0 for 3 from the perimeter. Trey Mitchell down at the low block, puts it up, and he gets fouled. Clock will stop with 9:39 left to go. It's going to be an offensive foul picked up, actually. So Trey Mitchell, they're going to call it on West Virginia. Yeah, Trey Mitchell lowering the shoulder right into Dante Scott. So Trey Mitchell lowering the shoulder right into Dante Scott. Called an offensive foul. Jimmy Bell signaling he thought it was. And Jimmy Bell's going to head towards the bench right now. So Jimmy Bell in some deep foul trouble too. So he's going to head towards the bench. Maryland with it. Inside the key. Pass out. Deflected, intercepted. West Virginia lost it though in midcourt off the interception. Maryland has the ball. Dante Scott, far side of the floor. Scott at the free throw circle. His pass goes out to the left corner. Carey, up fake. Carey with a 3. Carey sinks it. So finally, Maryland able to hit something. It's an 8-point game. 9 minutes now left to go in the first. West Virginia pass midcourt. Stevenson. Into the hands to Joe Toussaint. Toussaint going to slow it down for West Virginia. 12 on the shot clock. Top of the key. Stevenson has it. Back over to Toussaint. Toussaint, 5 in the shot clock. Toussaint, step back jumper, 17-footer, missed off the back rim. Offensive rebound for a moment, in and out. And lost control as Maryland comes out with a defensive board. 8.5 left to go. Maryland with the ball. Handoff to Jameer Young at the top. Jameer Young, dribble drive right down the lane inside. Blocked from behind by Stevenson, but they're going to call Stevenson on the blocking foul. Wow, that was a good effort there by Stevenson. Coming from behind, they got him down in the call. So Maryland's starting to get going. Cutting this lead to 8 points. They'll shoot 2 at the free throw line now. Jimmy Bell Jr. in quite a bit of foul trouble. 3 personal fouls for Jimmy Bell for West Virginia. 2 by Kedrian Johnson. From Maryland, 2 personal fouls picked up by Donald Carey. The first one's good for Maryland. Virginia looking good so far, 11-3. Virginia leading Furman with 16:40 in the first. Second free throw, right down the middle, made by Jameer Young. $8:20 left to play in the first. Inbound for Trey Mitchell in the backcourt. 7-zip run, last minute and a half by Maryland. We get a reach and fall in the backcourt, picked up by the Terps. That's Hakeem Hart. Hart will pick up his first personal foul. .8:10 left to go. Maryland with 4 fouls. West Virginia with 8 so far in this first half. As West Virginia has it, the low block. Trey Mitchell, turnaround, puts it up. He scores, through for 2. Good to see Trey Mitchell making an impact this season. He was a star player at UMass a couple of years ago, and then transferred over to Texas, and transferred off to West Virginia in the offseason. Jameer Young, dribble drive, pass off the roll down to Julian Reese. Reese puts up a shot, missed around the rim. Offensive rebound back to Maryland, though. 7:40 left to go in the first. Hakeem Hart, bounce pass, off to Reese. Out to the right wing, they'll take a 3, and that's good. So Maryland's able to cut it even more. It's a 5-point game now. Hakeem Hart able to dial up the 3 and make it. 7:15 remaining before halftime. Hart up to 5 points. Signs of life now by Maryland. West Virginia going to keep on slowing it down. Joe Toussaint. Pass out to the right baseline. Trey Mitchell. Trey Mitchell with a 3. Mitchell missed off the rim. Tip to the perimeter. Offensive rebound back to West Virginia. Emmett Matthews receives the pass. Dump off. Down low. They'll put one up. Missed off the glass. No good. Great interior defense there by Maryland, forcing the miss by James Okonkwo. Maryland with the ball. Under 7 minutes left to go before halftime. Ian Martinez gets the handoff from Julian Reese. Martinez shovels downhill underneath, and a blocking foul, +1 coming up at the line. Maryland right back in it, and a 1 coming up. Strong basket there. Patrick, that's number 20. This should be an and a 1 coming up at the line for Maryland once we get back from the timeout. 21-18 with under 7 left to go. What's good? The real deal. Welcome back in. Razorbacks roll. Yes, I plan on covering Illinois, Arkansas at 4:30, so feel free to join in if you guys would like for the next stream. Virginia leading Furman currently 12-7. In the first 4 minutes, Virginia putting up 12 points. Hey, good morning. Welcome in for Trip Poo on the stream. So that was Patrick Emilian who made the bucket plus the foul. So getting in some bench depth into the game. Number 15 was the one who scored for Maryland there. It's a huge bucket. James Okonkwo picked up the blocking foul. So Maryland gaining traction right now offensively. They were down at one point. The score is 19-6. So they're able to get West Virginia into foul trouble and make this a game right now. The bigs of West Virginia starting to get into foul trouble right now. We take a look at the foul trouble currently. Jimmy Bell Jr., 3 personal fouls, 2 each by Kedrian Johnson and James Okonkwo. Maryland, 2 personal fouls by Donald Carey. Everybody else with 1 or 0. We got 80 plus watching right now. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action on the channel, play-by-play, both college hoops, also NBA games. I'm glad to have you guys join in, being a part here on the stream today. Well, it was looking like a beatdown early on, but man, Maryland has come right back into this game. West Virginia led 19-6 Maryland, though, in a 12-2 run in the last 3.5 minutes. They get themselves winning 3. And a chance to pull winning 2 if they make the free throw coming up out of the timeout. Maryland's been able to settle down into this game, stop the turnovers. Virginia leading Furman 12-7 with 15.5 left to go there. Hey, thanks so much, Jonathan, for joining in. Okay, here we go. Back to action. One free throw at the line by Patrick Amillion. He made the and one, and he makes the free throw. Drew, welcome in. Totally agree, man. 6:40 left to go in the first. West Virginia just one field goal made in the last 3.5 minutes. They keep on slowing down tempo. Joe Toussaint at the top of the key. Toussaint moves it out to the left wing to Stevenson. Stevenson passes, jumper, mid-range, around the rim and out, missed by West Virginia. It was off the mark by Emmett Matthews. Maryland with a rebound. Terps driving, baseline underneath, kick out to the corner. Amillion swings it out to the wing to Hart. Back on top, 3 in the air. Jameer Young for the lead. He's got it. Maryland soaring up. They take a big-time lead after being down 16-6. They lead 22-21. Signs of life here for the Terps. Incredible start to this game. So we have a foul picked up in the backcourt, and the clock will stop with 5:56. So it took Maryland's the first 7-8 minutes with the jitters to get themselves into this game, and now they are rolling. $5:50 left to go. Maryland with just 5 personal fouls. West Virginia already with 10. Down at the low block, up fake, puts up a shot, no good, over the rim, he got fouled though. 2 free throws coming up at the line by Trey Mitchell of West Virginia. Yeah, so these first round games, like the first one is always great. I was concerned about that because of how it started, but it still has the capability, of course, because how Maryland's been able to battle back. It still has the capability of being like a Virginia Tech, Florida type of game from 2 years ago to open up the tournament. First one's good. Second free throw by Trey Mitchell. Right down the middle. Here we go. 5:40 left to play. Maryland started off 2 for 7 shooting ever since they're 5 of 6. Maryland with 6 personal fouls. West Virginia's got 9, so next time they're in the double bonuses, West Virginia comes up with a block. And next time Maryland falls, West Virginia will go into the bonus. 5:20 left to play. West Virginia with the basketball. Toussaint at the left wing. Moves it on top over to Okonkwo. Handoff to Toussaint towards his right around the perimeter. Toussaint looking to move it. Swings it cross court. Deflected. Far side of the floor. Picked up in the backcourt by Stevenson. 5 in the shot clock. Moves it out to the corner. 3 on its way for West Virginia. Off the rim. Missed. Tipped up in the air. Offensive rebound by Okonkwo. Back out to Kedrian Johnson. Open 3 by Johnson. Oh, he hits it. Kedrian Johnson unguarded around the perimeter. Second chance points helping out in a big favor for Bob Huggins' squad. 4:40 left to go before halftime. West Virginia with a big second chance bucket off the 3 by Johnson. Maryland with the ball past midcourt. Terps have it at the March Madness logo. Jameer Young dribbles up, lost it off his shoe, out of bounds. Turnover by Maryland. The point guard, Jameer Young, struggling today. 4th turnover to game for the Terps so far. For Jameer Young to just 1 assist. Virginia leading Furman 15-7 currently. West Virginia gets the inbound. 4:20 left to go before halftime. Kedrian Johnson dribbles past midcourt. Johnson at the top of the key. Moves it out to the right wing to Trey Mitchell. Mitchell, guarded by Dante Scott. Lost it. Turnover. Here goes Maryland. One man to beat. Attacking right to the rim. It gets blocked from behind. They're going to call it, though, a goaltend. So it was over the cylinder when it got blocked from behind. So a goaltend, the bucket will be awarded to Maryland off the fast break made by Hakeem Hart. Four minutes left to play. Emmett Matthews moves it out to Kedrian Johnson. West Virginia keeps on slowing down the basketball. They got a lot of their points early from steals along rebounds. Most of them now have been from second chance opportunities for West Virginia. Here they go driving. Stevenson puts one up, double team. Tough shot off the side of the glass. Offensive rebound. Put back opportunity. Blocked at the buzzer. It's going to be a tie-up. Possession error, Maryland. Maryland's defense. Big time stop right there as we have a timeout taken on the floor. Gritty game we got here. 3:33 left to go before halftime. 26-24. West Virginia by 2 as Maryland comes storming back in this game after being down by double digits early. Wow, what a start to the bracket. Almost 100 on the stream. If you guys are new in the channel, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams I cover. I'll be back later today for 2 more streams. Illinois taking on Arkansas at 4:30, followed up by Duke and Oral Roberts at 7:10. And let us know out in the chat who you guys got in this game today, West Virginia or Maryland. Type it in the chat. Virginia leading Furman 15-7 with 11:45 left to go in the first. Vaughn, welcome back in. Just signs of life right now for this Maryland team as they just couldn't buy a bucket early. They turned it over a ton early on in this game. Winner of this match will take on the 1-16 winner, Alabama, overall number 1 seed, taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Dale, LCS, welcome on board. Taking West Virginia. Real deal, going with Maryland in this one. And this game is taking place in Birmingham, Alabama, Legacy Arena. Yep. Well, he'll be back hopefully for the Duke Oral Roberts game later tonight, Vaughn. So I believe we're gonna have a special guest for the Duke versus Oral Roberts stream later tonight. Drew, welcome in the stream. Taking Maryland for this one. Yeah, great to see that this has been an excellent game now. It did not start out so hot. West Virginia led 19-6 at one point. Then Maryland put West Virginia into some foul trouble with their big men. And Maryland able to get themselves back in this game. Jimmy Bell Jr., 3 personal fouls. 2 each by James Okonkwo and Kedrian Johnson. Eric Stevenson with 1 personal foul, same as Joe Toussaint for West Virginia. Fouls right now for Maryland. 2 personal fouls by Donald Carey. Everybody else with either 1 or 0 for Maryland. Maryland is a team, 6 personal fouls, 9 committed by West Virginia. So West Virginia started off 19-6. Maryland right back in this game, though. On an 18-5 run, 17 field goals in this game to 14 combined turnovers in this matchup between these two teams. Maryland gets the inbound, 3:20 left to go before halftime. Maryland with the ball. Inside the key with Dante Scott. Scott backs his way, turn around, puts it up, puts it through. We're even at 26. Chris in the stream, welcome in. 3 minutes left to go before halftime. 4 ties, 4 lead changes. West Virginia with their largest lead by 13. Maryland led at 1 point by 2. Kedrian Johnson at the top of the key for West Virginia. Johnson drives up to the key, takes the jumper mid-range. Oh, he drills it. Nice touch right there by Kedrian Johnson to get it a drop for West Virginia. 2:40 left to play. Maryland with the ball at the right wing. Jameer Young moves it over to Reese. Reese down inside the low post. And it's going to be charged on a blocking foul picked up by West Virginia. So Maryland, 2 free throws coming up at the line as they're going to get, I believe, Trey Mitchell. Yeah, Trey Mitchell trying to take the charge. Right from behind was one other West Virginia player, but Mitchell, the one who picked up the foul. So this will send Maryland now to the free throw line. Julian Reese, 2 free throws. First one by Reese is good. Virginia leading Furman 17-7. Second free throw is good. 28-28. 2:30 left to go before half. West Virginia looking for an inbound. They do. Kedrian Johnson in the backcourt. Being pressured. Able to get it away to Emmett Matthews. Back over to Johnson crossing midcourt. Johnson, his pass to the corner. Out of bounds. It's a turnover by West Virginia. A little bit too wide, sent to Eric Stevenson. The bad pass by West Virginia. .220 remaining. Maryland with a back. Chance to take the lead. 8 turnovers by Maryland, 7 by West Virginia. West Virginia, though, has turned it over a lot more recently. Maryland with a ton of turnovers to start off the game. Dante Scott inside the key. Moves it out to the wing. Open 3. No good off the mark. Missed by Maryland with a rebound control by Trey Mitchell of the Mountaineers. Kedrian Johnson has it at the March Madness logo for West Virginia. 2 minutes left to go. Stevenson drives, baseline. Stevenson bounce pass to the corner. Had a chance to lay it up. He gave away the layup, and there's a turnover. West Virginia turns it over. Stevenson gave up a wide open layup like Ben Simmons did in the NBA playoffs. Maryland has it at the left wing perimeter. Dante Scott. Scott dribbles up inside the key. Scott floats up the shot. Gets the bounce. Good for 2. Maryland takes the lead. What a game. 30-28. Terps by 2. Hey, thanks so much, Chris. Appreciate it for joining in. Sharp Edge, welcome to the stream. Corner 3. No good by Stevenson, but there was a foul here on the floor picked up by Maryland. I believe it's away from the basketball. The clock will stop. Yeah, that's going to be number 7. So 7th personal foul picked up by Maryland. This will send the free throws now in the bonus. So that was away from the ball. Emmett Matthews at the free throw line. 1-1 for West Virginia. And off the back rim, no good. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Maryland. From behind us, it was off of Julian Reese, number 10. Toivo, welcome in. What a game. 1:21 left to go before halftime. Stevenson to inbound passer underneath for West Virginia. Stevenson moves it out to the right corner. Kedrian Johnson. Johnson at the elbow. Johnson looks to pass it off. 12 in the shot clock. Lobs it over to Stevenson. Stevenson. 10 in the shot clock, backs his way. Stevenson into the key, turnaround, mid-range. Eric Stevenson knocks it down for 2. And it's 30-30. That's a tough shot. Hand in the face inside the key, turnaround. Been a walking bucket this season, averaging 15.5 points per game. Maryland with the ball. As they will back their way to the mid-block. Out on top, it goes over to Hakeem Hart. Hart pushes the ball out to his right to Young around the perimeter. 45 seconds left to go. 10 in the shot clock for Maryland. Jameer Young, double-teamed, gets the pass out to the wing. Shot clock winding down to 3, going to have to force a shot. Tough one, turnaround, that's good. Patrick Amillion, number 15, from the bench, drills down the deep 2 turnaround. That's some big-time news from Maryland to get bench points like that. Kedrian Johnson, pass midcourt, 20 seconds left to go before halftime. 1 second differential between shot clock and game clock before half. Kedrian Johnson, slowing it down. 12 seconds left to go. Johnson at the left wing. Johnson, handoff Stevenson, turns the corner, 8 seconds. Stevenson at the left elbow. Bounce pass out to Johnson. Corner three in the air. Oh, he gets stuck. First wedgie of the NCAA tournament. March Madness 2023. Round of 64. There you go. It's a wedgie on a three-point shot taken at the left wing by Kedrian Johnson of West Virginia. And it'll be Maryland possession. A wedgie with 3.2 seconds left to go. Don't see that too often on a jumper from three. Wow. 3 seconds. Maryland past midcourt. Maryland three at the buzzer. Off the back rim, missed, and we go into halftime. 32-30. Maryland at 1 point trail by 13 points. As we go into halftime, and what a response by the Terps in this game to come all the way back and take the lead. They put West Virginia into some deep foul trouble in that first half. All right, so we enter halftime. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Spike the like, hit the subscribe here. As I cover basketball action on the channel, play-by-play. March Madness streams, college hoops, NBA also, and wow, what a start to this one today. Hit us up in the chat, by the way, who you're rooting for in this game, West Virginia or Maryland. What a start. Man, looked like Maryland was just like hot water right from the start of this game. They were just not ready whatsoever in the first 8 minutes, and then something just clicked. Everything clicked from Maryland. They started just attacking the big men of West Virginia. They got themselves right back into this game. They started to take care of the basketball much better. They went to the free throw line much more. And huge for the Terps. And they started to make their threes. Entire starting five is scored so far from Maryland. Top score 7 points each by Hakeem Hart and Jameer Young. 5 points off the bench by Patrick Amelian, making a perfect 2 for 2. He made one of those shots as a deep 2 when the shot clock wound down. So that is massive there for the Terps. 4 starters scoring so far in the game for West Virginia. 10 points by Kedrian Johnson leading the way. 6 points each by Eric Stevenson and Trey Mitchell. Jimmy Bell Jr. gets sent into some deep foul trouble in the first half. He picked up 3 personal fouls. That's a big loss. He was on the bench for quite a while because he's a big body that can rebound the basketball and give West Virginia second chance points opportunities. So that was a big loss, having Jimmy Bell Jr. out towards the bench for most of the first half. 2 personal fouls each by Kedrian Johnson and also James Okonkwo. Okonkwo, and another big body, as they got a lot of big boys on this West Virginia squad that can just offensive rebound the ball and lead to second chance points. They lead the offensive glass 10-3 in the first half. Total rebounds 16-10 for West Virginia currently, but the foul problems is what's crushing them. 10 personal fouls in the first half. Maryland with 7. And lately it's been the turnovers. Maryland had 6 turnovers when they had 4 points scored on the board. Maryland's done a better job second portion of the first half taking care of the basketball. Maryland with 8 total turnovers. West Virginia 8 total turnovers, and a lot of those turnovers were in the second portion of the first half for West Virginia. So Maryland's got the momentum going into halftime in this game. All right, going to flip over to Virginia Furman. I'll update you guys on that score since we're at halftime right now. But it looks like Virginia's leading. It's only a 4-point game. Furman was trailing, and now Furman getting onto a run against Virginia. 21-17, Virginia holding on to a 4-point lead against Furman with around 6:30 left to go in the first. Daniel, thanks so much for joining in. Next game that will tip off will be Utah State, the 10 seed, taking on Missouri, the 7 seed. That will tip off at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be back covering Arkansas against Illinois later today at 4:30 p.m., followed up by Duke and Oral Roberts for my final stream at 7:10 p.m. Eastern later today. So if you guys would like to catch future live streams, strongly recommend it. Just all you have to do, ring that notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams I cover. Wow, what a wild start to this tournament. By the way, Utah State is a 1-point favorite today on the line against Missouri. We got a little bit of a snapshot yesterday from the Mountain West Conference where that was a lopsided affair. Arizona State destroyed Nevada last night. So Furman is right in this game right now. Furman had a couple of those players on this Furman team when they beat Villanova back in 2018 in non-conference play. Furman was ranked for a week inside the top 25. Mike Bothwell, I believe he was on the team, along with Jalen Slauson when they beat Villanova the year after Villanova won the national championship. So that was 2018 when they won the national championship, and then November 2018 when Furman won against Villanova in non-conference play. Furman checked inside the top 25 briefly in early 2018. Furman usually really good at the free throw line. So they missed one there. They're down by 3 though, 21-18. They miss another free throw. Wow, this is a really efficient Furman team. They rank first in the nation in two-point shooting percentage. They're also a great free throw shooting team, but they missed both of the free throws at the line right there. So Furman's only down by 3, 21-18 with 6:20 remaining against Virginia currently. And if Furman starts to knock down their shots, watch out, because Virginia not really known to be that efficient. They don't have knockdown shooters in this Virginia squad. Virginia just missed their jumper right there. So I'll keep you guys posted on this Furman-Virginia game as Furman is looking to pull off the first big upset of the bracket. They've got 5 assists on 6 made field goals. Oh, they do it right to the rim. Furman scores, the top 2-point shooting team in the nation, finding rhythm at the rim. That's Jalen Slauson with a layup. So it's 21-20. Virginia leading Furman. Virginia couldn't finish at the rim, and this is a poor Furman defense, and Furman trying to just out-hustle Virginia right now. Furman got called in the shooting foul, but they almost out-hustled Virginia for that loose ball. You can see how much these Furman guys just want it right now. They're down by 1 against Virginia. I'm going to go into the box score here since we're at halftime of West Virginia, Maryland. But if this Furman team is able to put Virginia into foul trouble, watch out. Because Virginia's without one key starter, Ben Vanderplas, injured for the NCAA tournament, got injured in practice before the Duke game of the ACC tournament. But if Furman can get Virginia into foul trouble, then watch out. Virginia able to make both of their free throws. Yeah, Virginia's picked up 5 personal fouls so far. Armin Franklin with 2 personal fouls. Everybody else with 1 or 0. Mike Bothwell has got 2 for Furman for personal fouls so far. Furman can tie it up with a 3. They drew the foul, though. So Virginia picks up their 5th as a team. So Furman, this is a really good second half Furman team also. They're just textbook driving right on Virginia, trying to get them into foul trouble. That's exact textbook key awareness stuff right there, because Furman knows that Virginia's without one key starter not playing today, that they only go about 7 guys deep without that key starter, so they're trying to get those guys into foul trouble, and Furman makes both of the free throws. 23-22, Virginia up by 1. It's just a really odd Virginia team this season. This Virginia team is just super unathletic. They can't knock down threes. I mean, Furman's got this game right in their reach so far. 5 minutes left to play between Furman and Virginia. Power move to the bucket for Virginia to go up by 3 once again. What's good, Jose? Welcome to the stream. Shot blocked out of bounds by Dunn of Virginia. Yeah, Jaden Gardner's the one. He's going to have a monster game. Furman's interior defense has really struggled this season. So Jaden Gardner, he's going to get his points. But if Furman can hang in there, they have an opportunity. And Furman couldn't finish at the rim. Too tall off the glass. Yeah, 4 Mountain West teams in the bracket. Watch them go 0-4 once again. It's embarrassing if SDSU loses to Charleston today. That's just flat out embarrassing. That Charleston team barely squeaked by a couple of teams in their Colonial tournament. Virginia just scored once again. So 27-22. Oh, they had a wide open cut that they didn't see for Furman. And Furman turned it over. That's a poor pass. All right, so it looks like this game goes on timeout. Virginia leads Furman 27-22 with under 4 minutes left to go. We're still at halftime here, West Virginia and Maryland. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams that I do cover. Yep, so 3 Mountain West teams in action today. So Nevada lost yesterday, and all 3 other Mountain West teams played today. Utah State taking on Mizzou. That game will tip off in about 20 minutes from now. That's the 10 versus 7 matchup. Boise State, also a 10 seed, will take on Northwestern at 7:35 p.m. tonight. And also, San Diego State got an earlier game, too. They're at 3:10 against Charleston. Yeah, they're not that efficient from 3 for Furman. They make a lot of threes, but they're not that efficient. Kind of like Charleston. Furman's really good with their 2s. Yeah, it's been raining the past couple of days. Today, though, it's sunny. It's nice outside today. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get pounded by snow. I think 2 hours north of me got 35, 40 inches of snow for some places, and where I am didn't get anything. But you go 15, 20 minutes north, they got an inch or 2 of snow. Then you go up an hour north, they got 6 inches to a foot in 2 hours north. Some places, on the Mass New Hampshire border, they got 3 feet of snow. That storm was crazy. How localized it was. Yeah, that should be a great game with a ton of scoring in it for Mizzou, Utah State. So we're still at halftime here currently. Thanks so much all for staying with me, being a part here on the stream today. And yeah, if you guys haven't already done so, let us know out in the chat who you're rooting for in this game, West Virginia or Maryland. Furman shooting the ball 40% from three-point range so far. They only average around 34.7% from the perimeter, but they're 10th in the top 10 in the nation in three-point shooting makes per game, but they're trailing by 7 right now. So they got to get themselves back in order if they want to pull off the first big upset of the bracket. 29-22 Virginia. Furman has an open look from 3. Mike Bothwell from the corner, skipped around the rim and out, no good though. They got 3 minutes left to go before a half between this Virginia and Furman matchup. Missed turnaround shot by Jaden Gardner of Virginia. Furman will try another 3 from the corner. That missed well off the mark. So they're struggling to find their rhythm. They've taken 2 left corner threes, as Virginia just knows that they're forcing Furman towards their left on the last 2 possessions. And a strong bucket by Gardner. So Gardner just getting the 2 as he is cooking down low in this game for Virginia. So 31-22. Virginia leading Furman in the first. And Furman scores the bucket. Jalen Slauson, nice little turnaround hook there in the key. Wide open 3 by Virginia, missed off the rim. That should have been target range. Shocked that they couldn't come down with that. And Furman scores another bucket. They drive baseline, so they draw a win in 5. 31-26, Furman hanging in right now against Virginia. This Virginia team really struggles from three-point range. And a block by Furman. That was clean. Nice job there defensively. Jaden Gardner, he was looking to back his way down inside the low post. He got blocked. This Furman team, a smaller team, they're hanging in right now. 5-point game. Furman just recorded their first block of the game. Deep range 3 for Furman. Came up short. Yeah, their shot selection from 3 right now is crushing them. So this Virginia-Furman matchup will go into halftime, and we'll probably be back for the second half. Offensive foul committed. Or no, they're going to count it defensively by Furman on the outside. So we'll keep you guys posted there, as we're going to join back in for the second half for this one, West Virginia, Maryland, in just a moment. That game has about a minute left to go between Virginia and Furman. So yeah, we'll keep you guys on the score update for that game, as well as Mizzou, Utah State, as we just finished overtime in this one, or finished halftime in this one. Going to get back to the second half in just a moment. Looks like they're gonna. Wow, yeah, I didn't realize, because it's once again how long March Madness halftimes are. That's right. It is quite a bit longer than the typical regular season game. So 6-point game currently between Virginia and Furman, 32-26 with 44 seconds left to go. We're going to start the second half in a couple minutes from now between West Virginia and Maryland. Hey, best of luck there for playing the under. Jaden Gardner is going to check out towards the bench for Virginia. So he's been the one who's been having a solid game for Virginia. 44 seconds left to go before halftime with Virginia and Furman. Furman just made the first free throw. Furman with a second free throw, and that is well short. Yikes. Missing their free throws, crushing them right now. 5-point lead. I've got West Virginia in this game. Maryland's got a lot of momentum. Should be interesting down the stretch. And Virginia just turned it over. So turnover in the key by Virginia. Back to Furman with 28 seconds. Wow, we're still at halftime. Yeah, it looked like they were going to go back, like they had put a graphic up looking to go back, but they still need some more time. Well, 10 seconds remaining before Furman and Virginia go into halftime. Furman could use a big bucket before halftime. Can they get it here? No, they can't. Off the front rim, they go into half between Virginia and Furman. Virginia, 5-point lead, 32-27, going into half over Furman. All right, so that game's at halftime. We're about to begin the second half of action between West Virginia and Maryland. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Maryland efficient in that first half, 55% shooting from the floor, 11 for 20. West Virginia at 39%. Second chance points really helping out West Virginia in that first half. West Virginia, 10-3 on the offensive glass, 17-11 in total rebounds. It looked like this game was going to be a blowout early on. West Virginia led 19-6 to start off the game. Maryland's gone on a massive run, took a brief lead at one point. It was back and forth to close out the first half when Maryland up by 2. So here we go, back into action. Maryland, they started off 0 for 3 from the perimeter, 3 for 5 ever since. West Virginia, right to left in the floor to get the inbound as we are underway, second half of action. Kedrian Johnson lobs over to Eric Stevenson. Stevenson at the right wing perimeter. Bounce pass, deflected inside a key, and we got a whistle. And I think it's going to be kicked ball violation here, picked up by Maryland. So 17 seconds into action. Yeah, referees will say kicked ball by Maryland, inbound West Virginia. West Virginia gets the inbound to Eric Stevenson. Stevenson at the right elbow. Backs his way on Donald Carey. Stevenson, fall away. Tough shot, missed off the rim, knocked out of bounds. Last touched off the fingertips of Risa of Maryland. No, I will not be commentating Utah State Mizzou. Next one will be Illinois Arkansas. Inbound for West Virginia. Stevenson at the left corner. Bounce pass over to Trey Mitchell. Backs his way inside the low post. Mitchell up and under. Puts it up. And he gets fouled. And Trey Mitchell going to head to the free throw line. Shoot 2. Clock will stop with 19:27. Zara, welcome to the stream. No. Play-by-play only. Cannot show the game due to copyright. Yeah, it's probably going to go a little under 132 most likely. First one's good. West Virginia was slowing down the basketball a lot in the second portion of the first half. Second free throw skipped around the rim and out, missed by Trey Mitchell. Maryland by 1. Maryland has the ball. Pass midcourt with Jameer Young, left to right on the floor for the Terps. Young defended at the right wing perimeter by Kedrian Johnson, bounce pass to his right. Goes to the baseline. Hakeem Hart, bounce pass down low. Drops it through. It's good. Up and in off the glass. And the foul for Maryland. Emmett Matthews, he is down right now. He is in some severe pain for West Virginia. Emmett Matthews trying to get around that screen. Oh, man. Huge collision just going right into a brick wall of Julian Reese. And he's in some severe pain holding that left shoulder. He is grimacing right now by Emmett Matthews. The tough loss for West Virginia if he has to miss time. He is grimacing right now. Emmett Matthews, number 1 for West Virginia. Trying to fight around the screen set by Julian Reese. Hard contact between the body of Reese on the pick and the left shoulder of Kedrian Johnson. Just trying to fight around that screener. Yeah, this is not a good sign. Already depleted in the front court for West Virginia. Emmett Matthews Jr. has to head towards the locker room right now. He is holding his left shoulder, and his body is completely cockeyed right now, favoring on that left shoulder. So 1 free throw at the line for Julian Reese, and this has just turned into a nightmare now for West Virginia. They will have to see how they can provide the answer to get back into this game as Maryland makes the free throw. And Emmett Matthews Jr., he is injured right now on the bench for West Virginia. Emmett Matthews today, 2 points, 3 rebounds. But the only key starter that's yet to get into foul trouble. Maryland takes the lead off the made free throw. Emmett Matthews over to the top. Johnson with his 3 missed off the rim, around the rim and out. Rebound it goes, right back it goes. As Matthews is on the bench. Joe Toussaint on the floor, number 5 right now, playing off the bench. So Emmett Matthews on the bench currently. Far near side of the floor, pass deflected, a loose ball was knocked out of bounds by Toussaint. Lisa, welcome to the stream. I projected West Virginia for this one. Maryland's got all the momentum right now, and there's a key player that's out for West Virginia currently. Donald Carey, inbound passer, sends it off to Young. Young guarded by Toussaint. Away from the ball, we have a foul. This is on the Mountaineers too. So West Virginia picked up in a personal foul away from the basketball. Yeah, Julian Reese setting some hard screens out there. He's just completely, with his size, he's just been able to put a big physical body out there in the perimeter. And just really make it difficult for West Virginia currently. Once again, we see Reese trying to set the pick. It was Joe Toussaint that crashed right into Reese. The referee is looking at this one at the monitor currently. We stop the clock. We have 18:35 left to go. We got 140 plus watching in the stream. If you guys are new in the channel, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe here. Ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams I do cover. I cover play-by-play of basketball action, college hoops, also NBA games as well. Yeah, referee's still looking at this call at the monitor right now. Julian Reese around the perimeter on a pick play that Joe Toussaint had crashed right into him around the perimeter. K-Info, welcome to the channel. Going Virginia there. Well, Virginia taking on Furman right now. Virginia leading by 5 at the half. 32-27. If you guys are joining in, interested in that Virginia-Furman score. Virginia leads 32-27. And Utah State will tip off in a couple minutes against Missouri. All right, so 18:35 left to go. Just awaiting for possession here for the basketball. 10 in the shot clock, it looks like. And this will stay Maryland ball. So Maryland will get the inbound, 10 on the shot clock, 18:35 in the game clock. We're back to action. Inbound for Maryland. Out to the top of the key. Donald Carey takes the three. Oh, he hits it. Donald Carey lets it rain. Largest lead of the game for the Terps. 7-point lead for Maryland. West Virginia in trouble right now as Maryland went into halftime with all the momentum. Joe Toussaint at the left wing perimeter, moosing on top to Kedrian Johnson. Johnson, guard at the top of the key, approaching 18 minutes left to play. Johnson dribbles, drives, down the lane, right to the bucket, he scores, plus the foul up and in off the backboard. Kedrian Johnson and one coming up at the free throw line for West Virginia. What a game this has become. 18:05 left to go. Big, and a one. When Maryland had all the momentum to get themselves right back into the game. The first field goal of the second half for West Virginia. Kedrian Johnson up to 12. He's the top scorer for the Mountaineers. After that, Trey Mitchell with 7. 6 by Eric Stevenson. Off the bench, Joe Toussaint with 6. Make it 13. The free throw is good by Johnson. 4-point game now. 18 minutes remaining. Maryland in their backcourt. Dribbles past midcourt with Jameer Young. Young moves it out to the left wing perimeter. Dante Scott. Scott dribbles up to the low block inside the key. Scott pass deflected, intercepted, but a foul. It wasn't clean. Bob Huggins cannot believe the call by the officials. So West Virginia charged on a reach-in foul as one of their key front court players, Emmett Matthews, sitting on the bench currently in this game. I just think they got more firepower offensively to get it done. Maryland with a 3 in and around and out, though. Also, like Bob Huggins' track record. This one, when I saw it on Selection Sunday, this was like a pick'em type of matchup. Really, really good type game. Physical battle we got so far today. Out to the corner. Kedrian Johnson of West Virginia. Dribbles up inside the key. Johnson looking to take over. Johnson floats it up. He scores and gets fouled. Kedrian Johnson taking over this game right now for West Virginia. And another and one coming up at the free throw line. Number 0. About to become a March Madness hero. Draws the blocking foul on Jameer Young as he takes it from the corner. Inside the key with the right hand. Floats it up through the contact and the foul. Kedrian Johnson with 15 points. Top scorer in the game. Perfect. 3 for 3 at the free throw line. Make it 4 for 4 right down the middle. West Virginia right back into it. Number 0. Getting the motor going in this game. Maryland with the ball. Jameer Young moves on top to join Reese. Out to the wing, Martinez. Hand off to Hart. Hart dribbles, drives inside, and we have a foul picked up on the floor, I believe, here. Ooh, that's a hard pick. Yeah, it keeps on happening. Joy and Reese. Hard screen once again set around the perimeter. Jimmy Bell Jr. picks up his 4th. So that's charged to Jimmy Bell Jr. Yeah, these are hard screens set up by Maryland. Inbound will go to Maryland. Both of these teams with 3 personal fouls in the second half right now. Jimmy Bell Jr. with his 4th personal foul currently, though. He's a huge rebounder. Big offensive board type guy. Missed 3 at the top by Maryland. And a rebound foul assessed to Maryland. So this will go right back to West Virginia. So that's number 4 now picked up by the Terps. So Jimmy Bell Jr., he's got 4 personal fouls. Kedrian Johnson, the one that's been taking over the game for West Virginia, he's got 3. And West Virginia also has a key player that's out on the bench. Emmett Matthews Jr. appeared to injure his left shoulder. And they're undermanned right now, but they're still down by 1. Very well in this game. 16:45 left to play. Johnson, step back 3 in the air. Johnson, oh, he sinks it. Kedrian Johnson, get to know him. Bang, bang, March Madness. Know my name, baby. Lines up the 3. Step back city. Takes it, makes it. Mountaineers 2-point lead plus the foul. Oh, baby. Kedrian Johnson. 16:41 left to go. 1 shot at the free throw line. He made the 3, got knocked down in an and 1. Kedrian Johnson on a 9-0 run for West Virginia. 19 points today. He only averages around 11 points per game this season. This is what March is all about. Number 0. What a start for him. Free throw right down the middle. He's automatic so far in free throws today. And their top scorer, looks like they're saving him second part of the game. Eric Stevenson, the top scorer. He's only got 6 points today. But he's on the bench currently for West Virginia. 10-0 run for the Mountaineers. Jameer Young has it at the March Madness logo for Maryland. Young dribbles at the elbow. Stop and pop jumper. Well short. West Virginia comes up with the basketball. Mountaineers taking over right now in this game. Out to Kedrian Johnson. Johnson at the left wing perimeter. Johnson turns the corner. Dribbles. Drives. Down inside. He gets blocked and it goes out of bounds. Clock will stop. It's going to be an inbound coming up for West Virginia. Inbound goes out to the top. Kedrian Johnson, 20 points. He's got rest of the team with 21 for the Mountaineers. Joe Toussaint, top of the key for West Virginia. 16 minutes left to play. Toussaint moves it out to Johnson, the hot hand with 20. His pass goes to number 14, Seth Wilson. First time into the game, Wilson, step back 3, high arcing. Oh, it's nothing but net. Seth Wilson, number 14, comes into the game, bang, bang. He drills one for the Mountaineers off the step back. Wow. Maryland being pressured once again. Jameer Young at the left wing perimeter. Young dribbles up inside the key. Young inside. Young floats the pass out to the right corner. Donald Carey lost it. Out of bounds. Last touch by West Virginia. West Virginia with bench production today. 9 points off the bench, all from threes. Joe Toussaint, perfect 2 for 2 from 3. Seth Wilson, number 14, comes off the bench, sticks one. It's just nothing but bottom for a player that averages just 4 points per game. He's got 3 in the first minute of action today once he checks in. Timeout on the floor. 44-38. West Virginia. Foul trouble, no problem. Key injured starter, no problem. We'll go to the bench. We'll get it done. Looks like that right now for West Virginia. Up by 6, 44-38. What a game. Kedrian Johnson has taken over. He's got 20 points for West Virginia. An absolute machine right now. He's basically doubling his season average for Kedrian Johnson. 7 points by Trey Mitchell. He's the number 2 scorer. 6 points each by Joe Toussaint and Eric Stevenson. And then Seth Wilson, just massive 3 coming off the bench right there. West Virginia, 6 for 12 from 3-point range today. They lead the glass, plus 9, 22-13. Maryland, there's no player yet to take over. Everybody's got a balance so far for 6 players down the lineup. So West Virginia outscoring Maryland off the bench 9-5. 7 points each by Joyan Reese, Jameer Young, and Hakeem Hart. 6 points each by Dante Scott and Donald Carey. So nobody's been able to take over so far for Maryland, whereas Kedrian Johnson just on another level right now. If you're new on the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. If you guys would like to be notified for future live streams, I plan on covering. I plan on being back later today for 2 more streams. Arkansas against Illinois at 4:30 p.m., followed up by Duke against Oral Roberts at 7:10 p.m. today. Quick update. Other scores right now, Mizzou looking good. Mountain West is in trouble. Missouri leading Utah State 12-6 right now in the first 5 minutes. That I know a lot of the guys for the analytics were saying all week long, don't pick Mizzou, don't pick Mizzou. This team looks terrible analytics-wise. But just as simple as you can get, just look at the schedules between those two teams. That's all you have to do when picking that matchup. Just look at the schedule between Mizzou and Utah State, and you'll just see it clear cut. Who's got the advantage? Missouri doubling Utah State now 12-6, and Virginia leading Furman currently at halftime 32-27. So Furman hanging in that game where there's a lot of trouble for Utah State in the early going. Mizzou lights them up for 12 points in the first 5 minutes, and that was a Missouri team that hung in against Alabama in the SEC tournament semis for the most part. They hung in against Alabama, even though Missouri's one of the most undersized teams in all of college basketball. Yeah, been a tremendous game so far. Welcome in Lucas in the stream. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Alabama, the 1 taking on the 16 at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. 13-zip run by West Virginia at 1 point. So we get back to action. 15:27 left to go. Kedrian Johnson on a monster run himself has been able to take over the game with 20 points. Maryland gets the inbound. Open 3 by Maryland. Missed off the back rim. And the inability to make a 3 once again is going to hurt them. Donald Carey missed off the back rim too long. Rebound West Virginia. What's hurt West Virginia is when they slow down the basketball. If they can get to the rim and get tempo, this game can go up in a hurry once again. Johnson floats it out to the top over to James Okonkwo. Jumper by West Virginia, and that is good for another 3 by Kedrian Johnson. Oh, baby, he is sizzling. 47-38. Kedrian Johnson with 23. Number 0 being the hero in March. 70% shooting from the floor by Johnson. Donald Carey out to the right corner. 3 by Carey. Swoosh. 47-41. Big jumper for Maryland. They've been able to find success with a corner perimeter shots in this game. 14.5 left to go. West Virginia with a possession. They will slow it down this time. Joe Toussaint. What's been the key is that Eric Stevenson's been basically a non-factor for the top scorer in this game. He has been shut down, just 30% shooting. Up fake. Inside of Trey Mitchell. Mitchell moves it out to the wing into the hands to Toussaint. 5 in the shot clock. Toussaint drive, kicks, deflected, intercepted by Maryland. Here goes the Terps. Out in transition, kick out, corner, 3 in the air. Missed off the mark, no good by Donald Carey. Rebound right back to West Virginia. 14 minutes remaining. Open looks at the corner. Maryland could not connect there on a fast break. Kedrian Johnson, 23 points. He is sizzling, looking for more. Johnson gets fouled. It's going to be a reach and fall picked up by Jameer Young, and the clock will stop with 13:53. What a game. Hit us up in the chat who you guys got in this one, West Virginia or Maryland. We almost got 200 out on the stream. If you guys are new in the channel, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Inbound West Virginia. 13:45 left to go. Bounce pass down low. Trey Mitchell turnaround hook. Missed off the back rim, and the rebound tipped over to Dante Scott for Maryland. Terps take it past midcourt. At the left wing perimeter from Maryland, it's number 13, Hakeem Hart. Backs his way to the left baseline. Deflected pass back to Hart. And a reach and fall down the far side picked up by West Virginia. That'll be the first personal foul of the game, charged to Seth Wilson. Wilson with that big step back jumper right before the timeout, coming off the bench. 4 personal fouls by West Virginia second half. Maryland with 6. Maryland with an inbound. Jameer Young inside the key, and again he got fouled. Trying to weave his way in between traffic and from behind. Believe it's going to be on the it's going to be on the floor right here, I believe. I believe it was a reach-in call picked up by West Virginia. Yeah, so that's on West Virginia, their 5th. And it will be on the floor. So Fall picked them on the floor, reaching in. This will be Maryland inbound. Inbound underneath their hoop for the Terps. Jameer Young out to the corner, handoff to Young. Young at the left corner perimeter. Young inside the key. Young. Oh, he turns it over. Jameer Young trying to tiptoe the baseline. Turnover out of bounds. It will go back to West Virginia. West Virginia, just like Press Virginia, right there as they double team at the baseline in the corner. And Jameer Young ran out of real estate. He actually got called an offensive foul. So that was an offensive foul before the ball went out of bounds. He pushed off, lowering his shoulder. So Jameer Young now is on the bench for West Virginia. West Virginia with an inbound, loose ball. Maryland comes out with a steal. Maryland with it in their front court. They're going to slow it down. 13:05 left to go. Maryland has it at the right wing. Out to the top, Donald Carey. Carey, dribbles, spin move, into the key, Carey. Watch out, here comes the pressure. Out to the wing, moves it over to Hart. 8 on the shot clock. Hart dumps it off, down low. And it's a turnover. Turnover by Maryland. Basketball goes back to West Virginia. Hakeem Hart, too many steps in the key travel. West Virginia gets past the pressure. They're going to slow down the basketball. Maryland goes with a full court press. West Virginia past midcourt. 16-3 run by the Mountaineers in the last 5.5 minutes. 12:30 left to go on the clock. West Virginia has it with Joe Toussaint, top of the key. Moves it out to the elbow. Trey Mitchell with a jumper. He sinks it. Trey up and through. Good for 2. Love to see that from the transfer from UMass in Texas. 8-point lead for West Virginia. Maryland with the ball. 12:15 remaining of the clock. Number 2, Jahari Long, running the point now for Maryland. A little bit inexperienced with the ball handling for the Terps right now in the game, as they have Young currently in the bench in foul trouble. Turnaround, hook in the keto. Hakeem Hart drops it down for 2. What a game. 49-43, 12 minutes even. West Virginia with the inbound. Maryland pressure defense in the backcourt. They sent 3 guys out to the backcourt here, pressuring West Virginia, but able to cross midcourt with Joe Toussaint. Joe Toussaint with 15 on the shot clock now. Has it at the edge of the March Madness logo for the Mountaineers. Slides it out to his right to Kedrian Johnson. Johnson has taken over this game today. Johnson, 8 on the shot clock. Johnson at the top of the key. Johnson passes out to the wing. Mitchell, up fake. Mitchell inside the key, 2 on the shot clock. Mitchell with a left hand. Oh, he scores up and off the backboard. Trey Mitchell taking over on a run himself. Back-to-back buckets for West Virginia. 8-point lead again. 11:15 left to go. And we have a quick whistle here away from the basketball, looks like. We're going to have a media timeout as well. So media timeout on the floor right now. 51-43, West Virginia, 8-point lead. Kedrian Johnson, Trey Mitchell. Duo machine in this matchup. 23 by Johnson, 7 for 10 shooting. Trey Mitchell, 11 points. 4 for 9 from the floor. It's those two carrying West Virginia right now. This is a positive sign for West Virginia. Jimmy Bell Jr., 4 personal fouls. Hasn't played that often today. Eric Stevenson, the top scorer, just 6 points, shooting 3 for 10 from the floor. Hasn't been out there on the floor lately for Eric Stevenson. Emmett Matthews Jr., 2 points. He got injured in the early stage of the second half for Emmett Matthews. It looked like a pretty bad shoulder injury. He crashed into a screen set by one of the Maryland players. And right now, West Virginia cooking. Kedrian Johnson, 23. Trey Mitchell with 11. Johnson with the threes. Johnson getting to the rim. Mitchell with a mid-range. And then Mitchell inside the low post. And that's the difference makers right now in this game. Maryland, nobody yet to pop out in this game for Maryland. 9 points by Reese and Carey. 7 points each by Jameer Young, Hakeem Hart, but nobody from Maryland's been able to take over this game, whereas West Virginia has a legit duo right now, just taking over. Foul trouble currently. 4 personal fouls by Jimmy Bell Jr., 3 by Kedrian Johnson, 3 by James Okonkwo, and 3 by Joe Toussaint for West Virginia. Foul trouble for Maryland, 4 by Jameer Young, and that's severe, because Jameer Young's the point guard on the team, so now they don't have as much experience handling the basketball out there with Jameer Young in serious foul trouble. Today, Jameer Young with 5 turnovers, just 1 total assist in this game. And Jameer Young, he's been shut down. He's the top scorer, averaging around 16 points per game this season for Maryland. And then 3 personal fouls each by Donald Carey and Ian Martinez. Julian Reese, he has been a menace to West Virginia today. Julian Reese has set just monster picks out on the perimeter where West Virginia just trying to get around the screen. And we saw Emmett Matthews get injured earlier in the second half because of that, trying to get around the screen. He injured his left shoulder and hasn't returned yet to the game. Quick update on the other scores. Virginia leading Furman 40-30. The start of the second half. Missouri up over Utah State right now, 18-12. If you're new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Hey, thanks so much, Rayman, for joining in. Randy, welcome to the stream. Yeah, let us know on the chat who you guys got in this one today. West Virginia or Maryland. Type it in the chat who you guys like. Big 12 seeking their 3rd straight national championship. Baylor coming out of the pandemic in 2021. Kansas last year in 2022. Texas Tech represented the national championship game against Virginia back in 2019. The Big 12 been an often presence, if not champion, in the Final Four into the national championship game. The Big 12 Conference looking to get their first win on the board in March Madness of 2023. Mine is Alabama, Duke, Texas, and UConn. We get back to action. 11:15 left to go. Kedrian Johnson single-handedly outscoring Maryland as a team, but wait, not until now. Bucket off the inbound, back from the timeout by Julian Reese, and an and one coming up at the line. Illinois, Arkansas. Next stream at 4:30, followed up by Duke Oral Roberts. Julian Reese with 11. First player to double figures today for Maryland. James, welcome back in, man. Taking West Virginia. James Okonkwo now with 4 personal fouls. So West Virginia depleted with a couple front court players. Jimmy Bell Jr., 4 personal fouls. James Okonkwo with 4 personal fouls. And the free throw is good by Julian Reese of Maryland. So Maryland down by 5, but two fours with 4 personal fouls and deep foul trouble for West Virginia. We still got 11 minutes left to play. West Virginia with a possession. 11 minutes left to go. Joe Toussaint top of the key. Toussaint puts the ball into the hands of Mitchell. Back over to Toussaint. Toussaint drives inside the cup. Gets blocked. And Maryland comes back up with it. Dante Scott with a block from behind. Scott at the left wing perimeter. Scott defended by Trey Mitchell. Scott inside the key, floats the pass out to the top. Bounce pass at the low block, goes over to Reese. Reese inside working on Bell with 4 personal fouls. Reese puts it up, he scores. Targets Bell up and in off the glass. Has solid position right there. Jimmy Bell Jr. has to be careful with 4 personal fouls. 10:30 left to play. West Virginia with it. Bodies collide in the backcourt. Toussaint knocked down by Martinez. I believe this is going to be charged to Maryland here on that fall in the backcourt. Yeah, that's number 8. That's number 8 for personal fouls from Maryland. So Ian Martinez in deep foul trouble too, picks up his 4th personal foul. West Virginia, top 15 in the nation in free throw shot attempts per game. Both of these teams pretty similar right now. West Virginia 8 for 10 at the free throw line. Maryland 9 for 11. West Virginia in the bonus. Also, Maryland's has the bonus 2. And the free throw missed by West Virginia. Skipped around the rim and out. Maryland with 8 personal fouls. West Virginia with 7. Rebounded by Maryland. West Virginia's missed 3 free throws. Maryland's missed 2. Driving. Right baseline to the cup, and there's a blocking foul. Dante Scott will head to the free throw line, shoot 2 for Maryland, as they know that a couple of key front court players got 4. Jimmy Bell Jr., he is out. Jimmy Bell Jr. has just fallen out of the game, picks up his 5th personal foul with still above 10 minutes left to play. Yikes. That's a big physical body that West Virginia now is missing for the final 10 minutes. Jimmy Bell Jr., transfer from St. Louis, an offensive rebounding machine when he's out there on the floor, but he has just fallen out for West Virginia. This game's going to come down to foul trouble. 4 personal fouls by Jameer Young and Ian Martinez from Maryland. First player to fall out becomes Jimmy Bell Jr. of West Virginia. There's one other player with 4 personal fouls for West Virginia, and it's another front court player, James Okonkwo, off the bench. So West Virginia is severely depleted in the front court right now. Emmett Matthews is injured, got injured in the early stage of the second half. James Okonkwo, he's got 4 personal fouls off the bench. Trey Mitchell's had a great game. He's got just 1 personal foul, but they're limited to front court options. So Trey Mitchell is clean. They're going to have to go with other options remaining part of this game, which they've had a player check in briefly with number 24, Pat Sumanik, check into the game briefly for West Virginia. Free throw, number 2 was good as well. So 1-point game right now. 10:15 remaining. Deep foul trouble for both of these teams. West Virginia crosses midcourt with Keejian Johnson. Moves it on top over to Joe Toussaint. Toussaint passes out to the free throw circle. Trey Mitchell. Mitchell at the low block. Mitchell's pass deflected, intercepted. Maryland on a 7-zip run. Maryland with a steal. Pressure in the backcourt. Have to cross it. They do. Past midcourt. Jahari Long, number 2, now the ball handler for Maryland. 9:45 remaining. Lob. And knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Mountaineers by Trey Mitchell. Joe, thanks so much for joining in. Game that I'm hyped up for will be PC against Kentucky tomorrow at 7:10. Nothing better than PC college hoops. 9:44 left to go. By the way, Furman hanging in with Virginia right now, 42-35. Virginia, 7-point lead with around 14 minutes left. Missouri up over Utah State, 23-18, with 9 minutes left to go in the first. And Howard just tipped off with Kansas. Bill Self not coaching today. 2-2. Kansas and Howard just tipped off in the first minute and a half. 9:35 left to go here. Maryland has the ball. Maryland has it at the low block with Hakeem Hart. Hart floats it up, no good. Offensive rebound. Lost it back over to Hart. He scores off the put back up and then off the glass and good. Maryland on a big run themselves to take the lead. West Virginia in trouble as they are depleted in their front court. Maryland in a 9-zip run in the last 2 minutes. They surged just like this to take the lead going into halftime. Trey Mitchell back outside to Joe Toussaint, out to the corner. Wide open, not a 3-point shooter. Pat Sumanik gets a lot more playing time, though, remaining part of this game since Jimmy Bell Jr. is out. Number 14, Seth Wilson, made a step back a little while ago. Joe Toussaint at the top. Toussaint passes off the roll down. Sumanik, no good. Offensive rebound. Toussaint puts it up. Oh, he finishes. And the one coming up at the free throw line for Joe Toussaint. Strong move right there off the putback. Working together, Pat Sumanik getting more playing time out on the floor since Jimmy Bell Jr. has fallen out. And the putback was good by Joe Toussaint plus the foul. What a game. 1 free throw here at the line. Update, that's the double bonus now for West Virginia. Also double bonus from Maryland. West Virginia will have 1 shot at the free throw line. Jacob, welcome to the stream, man. Donald, welcome on board, taking Maryland. Yeah, hit us up in the chat who you guys like today in this matchup, Maryland or West Virginia. 200 plus watching. Make sure to spike the thumbs up if you guys are new. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and feel free to join in later today for Arkansas against Illinois. Free throw is good by Toussaint. 2-point lead for West Virginia. 8:40 left to go. Top of the key for Maryland. Dante Scott moves it out to his left. Bounce pass left baseline, Julian Reese. Reese down inside the low block. Reese has position. Block from behind. West Virginia battle for the basketball. And it will be. Oh no, possession arrow Maryland. Possession arrow Maryland. So tie up forced by West Virginia, but the possession arrow will go to Maryland. Wow. Yes, I'm an NFL fan as well there, Jacob. Kayla, welcome to the stream, man. Inbound out to the corner, Donald Carey. Moves it over to a million, hand off to Hart. Hart dribbles inside the key, Hart. No call, pass, shovel, deflected, picked up and intercepted. West Virginia comes out with a steal. Here goes the Mountaineers. Stevenson back into the game. 3-point shot taken at the wing. Missed off the front rim, no good by Trey Mitchell. And a defensive rebound collected by Hakeem Hart. 8 minutes left to go. Maryland down by 2. Jahari Long takes it past midcourt. Long dribbles inside the key. Long passes right corner to Hart. Hart inside now. Hart right to the rim. Plus the fall, I believe. Yes, they'll count it. And one coming up at the line by Hakeem Hart of Maryland. It's tied up at 54. What a game. One free throw line back from the timeout for Maryland. Tie game right now with 8 minutes left to play. Wow, this game is absolutely lit. Kudos out to Maryland for making this a game. They trailed by 13 points in the first 5 minutes or so of this game. It was 19-6 at one point, West Virginia. Maryland led at halftime. They led 32-30. Insane game. Hey, thanks so much, Caleb, for being a part of the stream. Brad, welcome in. Sayside, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for the thumbs up. You guys are awesome out here. Terrell, thanks so much for the sub, brother. Yeah, really good game, Dale. It's been tremendous. I remember 2 years ago, the first round, Florida against Virginia Tech, the game that went into overtime. Man, that'd be incredible if we had a finish like that. Maybe some extra basketball today would be phenomenal as well. Yeah, Jameer Young's been solid this season for Maryland. Right now he's in some foul trouble, so Jameer Young, 4 personal fouls. Him and Ian Martinez with 4. Jimmy Bell Jr. has fouled out for West Virginia, so they are depleted right now in their front court. Jimmy Bell Jr. done for the game with 5. 4 personal fouls by James Okonkwo. And then Emmett Matthews got injured. He is yet to return in this game, so that's 3 forwards. One of them's out, the other player's injured in the front court, and then the other player has 4 personal fouls. So that's 3 front court players for West Virginia. 2 of them are missing right now. But it's been back and forth, back and forth. That's the wrong game, Caleb. Mike Bothwell is in the Furman, Virginia game. I have no clue. I'm calling play-by-play West Virginia, Maryland. I'll give you guys score updates, though, of those games. Virginia leading Furman 47-38. About 12 minutes left to go in that game. And then Missouri up over Utah State 23-18, while Kansas is losing against Howard right now 8-7. Howard leading Kansas with 16 minutes left to go in the first. So we'll keep you guys posted. No Bill Self today for Kansas. We got 7:54 currently. Yeah, no problem. Glad to have you guys in the stream. 13-5 offensive rebounds in favor of West Virginia. 14-5 second chance points. That's what Jimmy Bell Jr. is known for. Just a big body on the glass, and he's not in. He's fouled out for the remaining part of this game today. This has just been absolute bloodbath type of matchup between these two teams. Physical in style. It's exactly what I thought it would be. So 1 free throw coming up at the line by Maryland. Hey, thanks so much, Em, for joining in. If you guys are doing a stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, and ring the notification bell as well. I plan on being back later today for Arkansas against Illinois at 4:30, followed up by Duke and Oral Roberts. So feel free to join in if you guys would like to those 2 streams. Hakeem Hart, one shot at the free throw line. So we get back to action. 7:55 left to play. And the free throw, around and out. Missed by Maryland. West Virginia comes up with a rebound. Mountaineers cross midcourt with Kedrian Johnson. Johnson has taken over at 23, the top scorer. Johnson at the top of the key. Johnson takes the three. Off the rim, no good. Tipped up, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by West Virginia. So it was off Pat Suminick last, number 24. Seven and a half left to go. Jahari Long playing the point now in place of Jameer Young with 4 personal fouls. Long moves in on top to Dante Scott. Passes out to his right to Carey. Carey has it at the top of the key towards his left around the perimeter. Carey jacks up a 3. Carey's 3 well off the mark. Air ball out of bounds. So just a poor possession right there from Maryland. They jack up a 3. And it went wide left to the rim and out of bounds. Andrew, thanks so much for joining in. Glad to have you in the stream. Nick, Brad, M. Welcome in, everybody. Taking Maryland for a lot of people right now. Hit us up in the chat, by the way. Who you guys got in this match? Maryland or West Virginia? West Virginia with the ball. Top of the key, Eric Stevenson. Stevenson been shut down, just 6 points so far today. Top scorer in the team this season. Puts the ball back into the hands of Toussaint. 7 minutes left to go. Joe Toussaint, crossover. Dribbles inside the key. Moves it back out to the perimeter. Trey Mitchell. 8 on the shot clock. Has it around the outside. Lost it. Turnover. Here goes Maryland with a steal. Burst of speed right to the rim. Oh, got the bucket. Falling backwards, 180. Hakeem Hart floated it up. Eyes away from the rim. Scored with a steal and a layup. West Virginia missed at the rim. Second chance. No good again. Tipped off the glass. And the foul on the floor before the tip-in motion will lead to 2 shots at the free throw line. So double bonus time for West Virginia coming up at the free throw line. Two free throws now for West Virginia. This will be Pat Sumnick, number 24. Yet to score today, 2 shots. The first one's good. Sumnick getting much more playing time in place of Jimmy Bell Jr. out for this game. He fouled out with 5 personal fouls. And then Emmett Matthews injured his shoulder early stage of the second half. Crashed into a screener set by the big man, Julian Reese of Maryland. Second free throw is good. 6:30 left to go as we go back and forth. West Virginia 14-5 in bench points. Dante Scott has it at the left corner perimeter. He's defended by Pat Sumnick. Scott 24-24. Dribbles inside the key. Pro hop. Dante Scott 5 in the shot clock. Moves out to his right. Deflected pass into the corner. Corner 3 by Maryland. Over the rim, no good. West Virginia comes up with a rebound. West Virginia crosses midcourt. Toussaint over to Mitchell. Back outside to Johnson. Johnson with 23, the top scorer of the game. 6 minutes left to play. Kedrian Johnson will slow it down. 15 on the shot clock for West Virginia. Moves it out to Stevenson. Lob off to Mitchell. Mitchell inside the low post. Double team. Back out to Stevenson. Stevenson rises for the J. Stevenson. Oh, he drills it. Eric Stevenson, big time shot. Takes the lead right back for the Mountaineers. He's been silent throughout the whole game, but guess what? He's trying to channel his inner Jamarius Burton moment for the dark blue and yellow. This time, the West Virginia Mountaineers, just like 2 nights ago, what Burton did for the Pitt Panthers. The former Wichita State Shocker, Eric Stevenson, knocking down a 3, rising up above at the right wing perimeter and drilling it. It's a 3-point lead for West Virginia as we take the timeout. What a game. 5:33 left. Gonna be an amazing 5.5 minutes, so stay tuned. If you're new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams I cover. Quick update, Virginia leading Furman 50-43. Furman on a 5-zip run, the draw within 7, 10 minutes left to go in that game. Missouri leading Utah State 26-23 with 6 minutes left. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Alabama, the 1 seed, taking on Texas A&M at Corpus Christi. Kansas up by 1 against Howard. That game's 8 minutes into action. 11-10 Kansas that game is 6 minutes into action with just under 14 minutes left to go. So Kansas just up by 1 right now. Man, what a battle. Kedrian Johnson, 23 points, 11 points by Trey Mitchell for West Virginia. Eric Stevenson drilled a 3. He's up to 9. 9 points from the bench by Joe Toussaint. Shining with the guard play today for West Virginia. Maryland, duo emerging for them as well. Julian Reese, 14 points. He has been monstrous today in this game for Maryland. Hakeem Hart, he's got 13 points currently. Jameer Young's been on the bench for quite a bit of while. Jameer Young, 4 personal fouls today with 7 points. Been limited to just 1 for 4 from the floor. But, man, the depth in this game for West Virginia really showing itself right now. Really, really showing itself for West Virginia. They are outscoring Maryland in bench points 14-5 currently for West Virginia. West Virginia 8 for 16 from 3. Maryland 5 for 16 from 3. Maryland's been the more efficient shooting team at almost 50%, 53% shooting from the floor. But West Virginia making their threes, getting second chance opportunities. And West Virginia plus 9 in the glass, 29-20, 14-5 on the offensive rebounds. And wow, this is really showing something for West Virginia. This team was down. They were down at one point. I believe they trailed as much by 8, or they trailed as much by 7. 7 points, the largest lead for Maryland. And West Virginia had Jimmy Bell Jr. fall out of the game. Emmett Matthews injured his shoulder. James Okonkwo sat on the bench with 4 personal fouls. And yet, still able to find a way. And you know something is that Eric Stevenson, he is fresh right now. Eric Stevenson sat on the bench for quite a bit of time for him. So to come off the bench and knock down a big shot like that is massive for West Virginia. 5:33 left to go. Maryland will get the inbound. 5:33 remaining. Jameer Young back into the game as he passes over to Hakeem Hart. Hart stuck at the elbow. Hart guarded by Stevenson, though. Bounce pass out to the top to Carey. Carey dribbles up to the left elbow. Carey moves it out on top. 3-point shot taken straight away. No good off the mark. Dante Scott, offensive rebound. Putback opportunity. Missed no good off the mark by Julian Reese. Rebounded back by West Virginia. 5 minutes left to play. Mountaineers, 3-point lead. They'll slow it down past midcourt. Out to the corner. Stevenson drives baseline. Stevenson underneath the hoop. Stevenson up fake. Swings it out to the wing. Into the hands to Mitchell. Back on top, it goes to Toussaint. Toussaint at the elbow, crossover, dribbles up into the key, up fake. Moves it out to Mitchell. Stevenson for the shot clock. Has to launch it. Stevenson from the logo. No good off the mark. Rebound control by Young. Great defense there by Maryland. 4:40 left to play. Maryland with possession. Top of the key for the Terps. Jameer Young moves it out to the wing. Wide open 3 for the tie. Swoosh. That's good by Maryland. 59-59. 3-point shot good by Dante Scott. 4:20 left to play. What a battle. Looking like Florida against Virginia Tech from 2 years ago. Hit us up in the chat, by the way, who you guys got in this one, West Virginia or Maryland. Hey, thanks so much, GMN409. You guys the legends here. Feel free to join in later today. Arkansas against Illinois, 4:30 p.m., followed up by Duke Oral Roberts at 7:10. Jumper, mid-range. Stevenson missed off the mark, tipped up, and Maryland controls the defensive board. 4 minutes remaining. Maryland has the possession as we are tied at 59. Jameer Young towards his left, brings a double team. Young trapped, loose ball deflected, up in the air, intercepted by, almost for a moment, West Virginia couldn't come down with it. Maryland, right from behind the defense, throws it down. The 50-50 ball did not work for West Virginia. Leads to a slam dunk by Maryland. Wow. Looked like West Virginia was going to complete the steal, but they could not. 3:30 left to go, and a timeout taken on the floor by Bob Huggins. Both teams with 2 timeouts left. Wow, it looked like West Virginia was going to get there. Two West Virginia players collided into each other trying to come up with a steal. The bounce went Maryland's way, and behind the defense off the steal, one man underneath the hoop received it and threw down the two-handed dunk. 61-59 Maryland. What a game. 3:30 left to go. 3:30 remaining. Stay tuned for the final end of the stream. You guys do not want to miss it. Let's go. We almost got 300 plus here on the channel. If you guys are new, first timer on the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell as well. You guys are the absolute legends here on the channel, being a part here. Wouldn't be a stream if it wasn't for you guys coming in and being a part here on the channel throughout the tournament. Out here supporting throughout March Madness, NBA playoffs, regular season games. Just being a part here in the streams. You guys are awesome here, so really appreciate all for joining in. Gianna, thanks so much for joining in. Nick, Christian, Javier, hit us up in the chat, by the way. Who you guys got for this one today? West Virginia or Maryland? Wow, Furman has pulled win in 4. Virginia leading Furman 52-48 with 6:30 left to go. We'll keep you guys posted there. Mizzou up over Utah State 28-25, and Kansas leading Howard 19-13. A lot of great games going on. 4 games currently in action. All of them are great. I'll be back for Arkansas against Illinois for my next stream at around 4:30 today. So feel free to join in for that game, followed up by Oral Roberts against Duke at 7:10. Those streams are on my homepage already scheduled, so feel free to bookmark them if you guys would like. They're out on my homepage of the YouTube channel. CW, thanks so much for joining in. Yep, it's just incredible. Kudos from Maryland to make this a game. If you guys are tuning in right now, if you guys are getting home from work, just tuning in or dropping by during work, this was a lopsided game to start off. West Virginia led 19-6 to start off this game. Maryland went on a monster run that took the lead, and Maryland got up 24-22. They took the lead in the halftime 32-30. And now it's been back and forth, back and forth. Kedrian Johnson, he took over at one point. He went on a 9-zip run himself for West Virginia. Maryland started off the second half hot. They got out to a 7-point lead at one point, leading the second half. And then West Virginia with Kedrian Johnson got right back into the game. And now it's Maryland with a 2-point lead. Winner of this game will take on the 1 versus 16 winner, Alabama or Texas A&M Corpus Christi. $3:30 left to play. It will be West Virginia inbound in their front court. West Virginia gets the inbound. Top of the key with Joe Toussaint. Toussaint towards his right around the perimeter. Toussaint, bounce past Stevenson. Stevenson, deep range three. Eric Stevenson missed off the rim, no good. A rebound by Maryland, and a foul call picked up by West Virginia. Bad shot selection by Eric Stevenson. Tried to jack one up from the logo as it missed. So Maryland now at the free throw line, 2 shots in the double bonus. This will be Joy and Reese, number 10. Just a 54% free throw shooter. He's 4 for 6 today. Pressure free throws as we're under 4 minutes left to go. 2 shots at the line for Maryland. These are pressure free throws, and the first one's good. Wow. That was a straight line free throw. That had no arc to it whatsoever, and it went right in. (62-59), 3:17 remaining. Second shot. Around the rim and out, missed by Maryland, by Reese. 3:15 left to play. West Virginia pass midcourt into the hands to Stevenson. Some bad shots lately by Stevenson after he made that first three coming off the bench, resting for quite a bit of time. Joe Toussaint, top of the key, 3 minutes even. Toussaint dribbles up to the right corner. Toussaint has some space to the right corner, gives it over to Stevenson. Stevenson, dribble drive right down the lane inside, puts it up, off the glass, no good. Great defense by Maryland and the Terps. Come up with a defensive rebound. Dante Scott got the board. Jameer Young, nice playmaking ability. Throws it down with a two-handed jam. Julian Reese plus the foul. Oh, that's a beauty of a no-look pass right there by Jameer Young out in transition. Look at that, weaving its way in between the dark blue and yellow defense, and Young, nice no-look. Right to the two-handed dunk by Julian Reese. 64-59, 2:30 left to go. Julian Reese, a monster in this game. 8-zip run for Maryland. West Virginia, inside the key. Shot, no good by Toussaint. Ripped away by Reese with a rebound, and he gets fouled, I believe, in the backcourt. 2:29 remaining, and he did. He'll go to the free throw line, shoot two. That big boy, the physicality taking over of 6'9", Julian Reese. The lone starter that's not a senior in the team, a sophomore. They call him tough out in the DMV. The sophomore from Baltimore, a top 55 recruit taking over in the game. Furman has just taken the lead. 56-52 Furman with 5 minutes left to play versus Virginia. Virginia's offense has gone lethargic. 2 shots at the line. First one, no good. Missed by Reese. Reese will have a second shot at the free throw line. 2:29 left to go. If you guys are new on the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. What a game. They call him tough over in the DMV. Second free throw, no good. Missed them both. Went empty that trip by Reese. He's only about a 54% free throw shooter. West Virginia with the ball. Top of the key, Kedrian Johnson. 2:20 remaining. Johnson has taken over this game. Johnson, dribble drive down the side. Oh, he scores. Oh, that's beautiful. Reverse-handed layup. Kedrian Johnson. It's a 3-point game. He's a walking bucket. 25 by Johnson. 2 minutes left to play. Jameer Young at the March Madness logo. Young, guarded by Stevenson around the perimeter. Young dribbles up to the mid-block. Young swings it out to the corner to Scott. Back outside it goes to Young. Young at the left wing. Young, crossover inside the key. Young, jumper, missed rim short, tipped up to the perimeter. Offensive rebound, Maryland. 1:45 left to play. Maryland has it again, slows down the clock. 3-point lead for the Terps. Young at the right wing. And I believe that's a reach-in foul committed by West Virginia. Bad foul call right there, reaching in with 1:36 left to go. By the way, Emmett Matthews Jr. has just checked back into the game. He was out on the bench for a large amount of time in the second half due to a shoulder injury by Emmett Matthews Jr. He has checked back. And that's the player you do not want to send to the free throw line if you're West Virginia. Jameer Young, an 83% free throw shooter, shooting 2. First one right down the middle. Jameer Young, been silent throughout the course of the game, but incredible playmaking ability on a transitional play a couple minutes prior to these free throws right now, and Young makes them both. That's clutch. 5-point lead, Maryland. 1:35 left to go. Kansas having a lot of trouble with Howard as they speak. 29-27 Kansas with 7:25 left to go. West Virginia, top of the key, 1:25 here. Kedrian Johnson moves it out to his right to Stevenson. Stevenson rises for the 3. Rattled out. Offensive rebound. Oh, a huge rejection from behind. Big block right there by Maryland from behind. That is Julian Reese, who has put a stamp on this game. It'll be West Virginia inbound with 1:10 on the clock. Reese from behind knocks it loose off the putback attempt by Pat Sumnick, number 24. West Virginia will get the inbound. Kedrian Johnson, inbound passer. Johnson looking for somebody to get open. He will. Sends it over to Matthews. Matthews hands it off to Johnson. Johnson at the right wing. Johnson drives, and he'll draw the foul. Reaching in was Maryland, and this will send free throws coming up at the line. 2 shots by Kedrian Johnson. All right, so 1:09 left to play. Galaxy, best of luck on that, man. Kedrian Johnson, 82% at the free throw line, shooting 2. First one's good. What a game. Timeout on the floor. So they'll split the free throws. Johnson will have one more coming up out of the timeout. Both of these teams in the double bonus. 2 timeouts. Maryland, 1 by West Virginia. West Virginia will have 1 free throw and will go into timeout. Wild game today if you guys are just joining in. West Virginia led 19-6 to start off this game. Yes, I'm a Celtics fan, by the way. I covered the NBA as well. Yeah, Howard keeping it close right now. So we got 1:09 left to go. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. I cover basketball action here on the channel, play-by-play, both college hoops, also NBA games as well. Quick update, other scores. Furman leading Virginia 57-54 with 4:30 left to go. Mizzou up at the half over Utah State 35-31, whereas Howard keeping it close with Kansas 29-27. Winner will take on either Alabama or Texas A&M Corpus Christi. 1 versus 16 winner in that matchup. Kedrian Johnson, 1 free throw at the line for West Virginia. We're back from the timeout. 1:09 left to go. 1 free throw by Johnson. And he got it. Right down the middle. He's perfect today. 3-point game. 1:09 remaining. Kevin Willard, just 1-5 record in the NCAA tournament in the first round at Seton Hall. Bob Huggins, 7-3 at West Virginia. Maryland has it. 1 minute left to go. Jahmir Young, going to slow down tempo. 15 on the shot clock, 55 seconds left to play. Young, defended by Kedrian Johnson. Young, crossover, dribbles up into the key. Young, lost it. Out of bounds. It was last touched, though, by West Virginia. 47 seconds left to go. Deflected out of bounds by West Virginia with 8 on the shot clock. It will stay Maryland basketball, possession arrow underneath Maryland's hoop. Ooh. Could we go to replay for that? West Virginia signaling turnover by Young. West Virginia was signaling turnover right there. They were looking at this at the replay. Officials looking at this at the replay right now at the monitor. Whether that was out of bounds by Maryland. Let's see. Ooh, that's tight. Driving inside a key. Yeah, I think the right hand, number 0, Kedrian. Ooh, did it graze off 15 of Maryland? Patrick Emilian, did that basketball graze off the head of number 15 of Maryland before it went out of bounds? That's the big key they're looking at. Ooh! This could be West Virginia basketball if it did. We'll see. We'll see if this is a turnover by Maryland or not. 47 seconds left to go. It's a tough replay they showed from the top. Let's see. Number 0, Kedrian Johnson strips it from Jahmir Young. The ball goes to the left. Did they get touched by Emilian? That's the question. Let's see here. We watch on the replay. Stripped. That is so tough. That is so tough to see. Let's see this replay. This is the closest one we got so far. Stripped off Young. Forced by Johnson. That's from behind. That's a tough angle. I don't know if you can see anything. No hair moved or anything. I don't know if you can turn that over. So I don't know if you can dispute that and turn that over. Illinois, Arkansas, Duke, Oral Roberts. So 2 more streams later today. Illinois, Arkansas, and Duke and Oral Roberts. Jahmir Young driving inside a key. Kedrian Johnson stripped him, lost the basketball, and the ball floated right past the face of Patrick Emilian. The big question was whether it touched any part of the body. The head, the fingertip was stretching out 2 of a million. Did it touch any part of that body? That is the big, big question with 47 seconds remaining. I don't think so. I don't think a fingertip got on it either. Ooh, this is behind cam. Yeah, I don't know. That's tight. Very tight right there. They're still looking at the review monitor. I don't know if you can overturn that. It doesn't look like it touched him. It looked like it just flew right past him. That was, man, you're looking by centimeters at this point on that call right there. That's a difference between centimeters. So we got 47 seconds left to go. 8 on the shot clock for Maryland with a 3-point lead for the Terps. This has got flashbacks to Virginia Tech, Florida from 2 years ago, starting off the tournament all over again. Yeah, this is so difficult to overturn. I think it's going to stay Maryland basketball. That's just so tough to overturn. Furman leading Virginia 61-60 with 2:44 left to go. Mizzou up at the half over Utah State 35-31. And Kansas leading Howard 33-31. Yeah, just so tough to call. No 16 versus 1s. So referee is explaining the call. .47 seconds left, 8 on the shot clock. It will stay Maryland possession. Maryland will get the inbound. 6 on the shot clock now for Maryland. 45 seconds left to go. They power their way inside. No good. Missed off the glass. Battle for a rebound. Offensive rebound by Maryland. Trapped in the corner. Maryland will burn a timeout. They got the offensive rebound. We got 38 seconds remaining. And the Terps burn the timeout as they're down to 1 timeout left. Massive offensive rebound. Both of these teams with 1 timeout remaining. Maryland will have the inbounds once we get back to action. What a game. Furman leading Virginia 63-60 with 2.5 left to go. Mizzou up over Utah State at the half 35-31. What a game. An amazing battle once again in the first round to start off the bracket. Looked like Maryland was drowned in the water to start off this game. They were trailing 19-6. They couldn't get anything going offensively. And then all of a sudden, everything just started to click. So this will be Maryland inbound. 38 seconds left to go. Maryland gets the inbound Jameer Young. Young at the top of the key. Young passes off to the free throw circle. 12 in the shot clock. Handoff Young. Young dribbles inside the key. Spin move. Young. Oh, it's going to be a travel. Turnover by Maryland with 28.5 seconds left to go. Maryland turns it over. It will be West Virginia basketball with 28.5 seconds remaining. Jameer Young called in the turnover inside the key. Great defense by number 32. James Okonkwo off the bench, stepping up, forcing the turnover. West Virginia, here they go with the basketball. Do they have a Virginia Tech, Florida moment in them to force overtime? 25 seconds left. Top of the key, Kedrian Johnson. Johnson moves it over to Stevenson. 15 seconds. Out it goes to Mitchell. 14 seconds. Mitchell inside the key. Mitchell inside the key. Mitchell powers his way. Puts it up and in. He scores. Up and in off the backboard. Trey Mitchell good for 2. 1 point game with 8.4 seconds remaining. Timeout taken on the floor. Trey Mitchell. Represent. There you go, baby. Trey Mitchell from Pitt, PA. Big time bucket, 1 point game. Maryland will get the inbound final timeout taken on the court. I believe it was by West Virginia. 66-65 as we head to the timeout. What a game. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. It's a quick 30-second timeout, so we'll get right back on this graphic. Yep, West Virginia burned the final timeout. Maryland with 1 timeout remaining. Both of the teams in double bonus, and Maryland will have the possession. So Maryland will have this possession. Feel free to join in for Arkansas, Illinois later today at 4:30, followed up by Duke and Oral Roberts at 7:10. By the way, Furman and Virginia coming down to the wire too. 1:20 left to go in that game. Virginia leading 64-63 over Furman. 8.4 seconds left to go. Maryland will get the inbound. West Virginia looking for their press Virginia moment coming up. Trying to see if they can force a 5-second call or a steal. Here we go. 11 lead changes, 9 ties. Largest lead to West Virginia by 13, 7 by Maryland. Maryland will get the inbound in their backcourt. Maryland looking to have somebody get an opening here. Bounce pass. Goes to the corner. They double team. Trapped. 5 seconds. And a foul. Picked up with 4.2. So West Virginia, defensive foul, reaching in with 4.2. This will send free throws, 2 shots at the line with Jameer Young. Jameer Young at 2 free throws for Maryland. 4.2 seconds left to play. Young will have 2 shots at the free throw line. These are pressure free throws in the biggest moment. Who's going to take the big time shot for West Virginia if they're down by 3? Kedrian Johnson. Some big-time moments today. Does he have another one for him? Eric Stevenson, top scorer this season, made a big-time 3 coming off the bench a little while ago. 4.2 seconds remaining. West Virginia's out of timeouts. Maryland has 1 remaining. I think they're looking to see what the time is in the clock when this foul occurred. The clock stopped at 4.2. That's what they got right now. So they're looking to see. Yeah, they put back 0.5 of a second on the clock. They put back 4.7. Jameer Young, 83% free throw shooter. 2 shots in the double bonus for Maryland. Here we are. First one's good. All right, second free throw. Maryland with 1 timeout. West Virginia has 0. West Virginia will need to get the rebound if this is a miss indeed by Young. Young at the free throw line. Around and out, no good. Rebound West Virginia. Here we go. 3 seconds remaining. West Virginia, 4 to win. They floated up. It's short, and it's over. Maryland pulls out the victory. 67-65. This one goes final. What a game. What a game. The Terps move on to the second round. Just a little bit short on the 3. It was by Kedrian Johnson. It was short and angled towards the left side of the rim as this game is over. What a game. This is March, everybody. Came down to seconds and inches. Maryland with a W as they survive, and they'll take on the winner, Alabama versus Texas A&M, or Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Wow. An incredible game between these two teams. Thanks all for joining and being a part here on the stream. Feel free to join back in a little bit later for me as I'll be back live. Arkansas against Illinois for that matchup. And wow, absolutely a wild game that we had. Incredible game right down to the wire between these two teams. Absolute beast with Julian Reese, 17 points. He's the reason why Maryland won this game today. 17 points, 9 rebounds by Reese. 15 points by Hakeem Hart. 11 by Dante Scott, 10 by Jameer Young. They put 4 starters into double figures. And then West Virginia. Duo showed up big in this game. Kedrian Johnson with 27, 13 by Trey Mitchell. Not enough in the end, though. And Kevin Willard, first season at Maryland, gets a much-needed win for the Terps. And they advance, and they'll move on to the second round. Most likely 99.9% taking on the Roll Tide. Thanks all for joining in, being a part on the stream for this one. Feel free to come on back for Illinois against Arkansas around 4:30 p.m. for that matchup here. Before you go, spike the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. What a game, everybody. What a start to open up the bracket. Maryland, they found themselves down by 13 points at one point in this game. Came all the way back, and they end up winning it by 2. 67-65 the final score. We're going to close out to the channel members. All channel members get a shout out at the end of each and every single one of my live streams here. Jason, Rajip, Russell, Oreo Pudding, Bradley, Braden, Mario, Bino, Mark, John, Kenneth, Jess, Ahino Josa, Vegas, SG Sports Talk, Michael Warren, I Am Ghost, Kelly, Asia, Laszlo, Roderick, Reynaldo, Didi, Katie, Barco, Siegel, Woopig, Ian, Oink Oink, Emmanuel, and Robin. Thanks all for joining in, being a part in the stream, everybody. What a game. Maryland wins. First game of March Madness 2023, 67-65, the final score. And enjoy the rest of your Thursday afternoon, everyone.